Now, last time you were on, you were very good at this. For Bunbury Tyre and Exhaust, for your four-wheel tyres, rims, lift kits and GVM upgrades and general services. Who's going to win this, Johnny, and by how much? I'll write it down this time because I forgot what you said last time. So just
a couple of points off last time, but I think Donnybrook by 23 points, Craney.
Donnybrook by 23.
I just think Bunbury might struggle without their two main goal kickers not being out there today. They may struggle to kick 10 goals, and I think you want to kick 12 goals to win this game of footy today.
Aidan Hare will come out onto this grandstand wing for the Bulldogs. Walker will go into the middle along with Creasy, Barraclough, and who else is in there? Cooper Nishke for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, it's changed up a little bit. I say sometimes you get these guys who are one and one. It makes it hard to get your rhythm going through you because mostly they're better players and they play in the midfield, and they're there one week, they're not there the next. So, that was a different midfield that lined up last week to this week, almost completely new. So I think the only one that was in there that started last week was Creasy. They're all new in there, so they've got to start from scratch and try and get the synergy going straight away. So it'll be interesting to see how they start this first quarter. Just
looking around to see where Persic went to, but can't pick him up. He's not in the middle of the ground as yet, but we'll keep an eye on him.
He's on the other side there, Crane. He's wearing a helmet. It's on that half-forward flank.
Half-forward flank. Oh, he has got the helmet on. So we're just about ready to go in the second last fixture for the home and around season for the Southwest Football League. Doesn't take long to go. Umpire holds a ball aloft. This is SEN Spirit, and this is John Bajetta.
Up they go. Durham wins the first knock. No one can tell us a hold there. Play on's a call. Now the umpire off the play has found that hold, and it's a free kick to Donnybrook. They drive forward into the forward 50. Bunbury uncontested, going to take an easy mark there through Perks. So what's he going to switch into the middle of the ground where Barraclough? He gives it to a running King, is it? What's he going to do? He drills the centre half forward. Good lead there from Heisman. Takes the ball just inside the centre square. Wheels and goes onto that right boot. He goes long and high down there to Woods, is it? Parsons, he can't take the mark. Coach takes the footy out of there. He just hacks that ball wide. It's going to just drift and hold its line. Real good effort there by young Kendall. Has he been paid? I thought he hit the deck, Craney. I didn't say much, but no.
I think he got it.
You've marked that. So he just chips down the line. Persic comes in. He gets his first touch after a few weeks off. Oh, that's almost 50 there. He just cools his jets. So he's got players
That'd be good
loose.
to get the ball in hands for Sammy.
Yep. He just comes down this wing, goes up and under. Underneath there is a big fella in Gregory. He can't take the mark. Bilsich goes. No, in goes, is it Kendall? He can't take the footy. Walker, he dishes off. Good pick up there from the Donnybrook player. Adow, he's dispossessed the footy. She rolls out of bounds right in front of the interchange box.
Talking about a bloke who retires a couple of times. Still an outstanding football, Chris.
I spoke to him last Friday night, and I tell you, Craney, he was pretty keen to advance through the final series and go out with a bang. So good luck to him. So throw in right in front of us. Ruckman go at it. Durham takes front spot. He just taps that down. Barraclough can't take it. Durham's that's the old chicken wing. That's dropping the ball. Play on's a call now. In goes Kendall. He can't take it. Adow, he just handballs wide. Good handball there to his teammate there in young Falco with the haircut. I didn't recognise him there, Craney. He's looking
pretty sharp,
slick.
isn't he?
He certainly does. He's looking very fit, actually. So now I know.
Tell you what, he's only been back for a little while, but he's been in the best every time for the Donnybrook Footy Club.
You'd expect that. He's a quality player. Durham just puts a big fist into that. Where's it going to go? Gribble leads the race back. It's going to beat him over the line. It's still in the same area in front of us, right on the interchange box. No one's hit the scoreboard yet, and she's a bit of a stalemate on this flank in front of us.
A bit of pressure here, though.
There certainly is. Players going in and out, a bit of push and shove. Again, Durham takes front spot. He tries to belt that. In there goes Donnybrook player Howlett, just comes back off the back of the pack, gives it to Brown. He's taken the ground. Good tackle there from Barraclough, and the umpires penalise him.
That was a great tackle.
Yeah, it was a good tackle. It's probably not Benny's best handball.
We're looking at the Bunbury Mower Service tackle of the day, so that's a good start.
Barraclough give it off to Bilsich, who drives that ball forward to his teammate there in number 15 is Gilchrist. He goes long, high, and out the back there was Ninsky. Unattended, uncontested, whatever way you want to put it. He's taken a mark about 35 metres out directly in front. And you would say he's quite a good shot at goal, Craney.
He's an excellent shot at goal. And he'll play on and kick it.
And he does, and he goes bang, straight over the goal umpire's head. And Bunbury hit the scoreboard 1 straight 6. They lead Donnybrook yet to open the account, and that was far too easy.
That's on the Southwest Isuzu scoreboard. I tell you what I like about that. He had a Bunbury bloke in front of him. He said, that was mine, demanded the footy, it come over the back, wasted no time, just walked around and snapped it through. So a good start by Bunbury, and I'll tell you what, even they're looking up and about, aren't they? I think they got a little bit hurt last week, just pride-wise, so they come to play.
It was quite a I looked, watching the ball here in front of us, and I looked down, and Donnybrook had the numbers there, but it was like everyone just stopped, and someone obviously called. You know how sometimes everyone gets stage fright, and it's just no one knew whose voice it was or whatever, but he took a mark. I said that uncontested 30 metres out when guys are around him. So back in the middle they go. Durnham goes up. He taps down. And on there is Falco. He picks up a loose ball. He's ridden into the deck. Play on's a call. No, the umpire's going to ball it up. Could have almost been rewarded with a push in the back, but...
That's Aaron Andrews, that umpire there. I think he's playing something like umpiring his 350th game. So been around for a while, Aaron Andrews.
Certainly has. Berraclough, what's he going to do? He just whacks it on the boot. Goes towards half-forward flank now. Denham King wins the race of the ball. He gets a bad bounce. Archer Coates comes out the back. He just paddles towards the boundary line. He gets a kind bounce. Now he hacks forward. His teammate there couldn't take the footy there in Hutton. He just pushes Bilsich off the line of the footy. Into the middle of the ground it goes. The two ruckmen come together. Well, Percy should have tackled instead of bump. Durnham gets a little handball away. Good tackle there on Perks. That's a great tackle. Now Percy picks up. Oh, unlucky there.
Gee, he was off
and 50 metres now. He's just thrown.
Wow.
Perks done that quite well. Percy did throw it back at a fairly heated throw.
He didn't make a great effort to catch it, though, did he?
It went straight in the breadbasket and he just let it go. So, but you're entitled to do that because he should have just lollied it back to him and the umpire would have been happy. But anyway, he's going to go back and almost kick from the same spot as Niski did.
Gee, it's a game of inches in that Donnybrook were off and away, and the kick was given, and now Bunbury having a shot for goal.
I thought it was dropping the ball, in my opinion, but anyway, that doesn't count for nothing. But Perks, he's probably lined up for his first goal for the year, I'd say, and he comes 35 metres out, directly in front. He kicks like a backman, and she's gone left of the pole.
You're sending him down back again?
Yeah, sending him down back. Don't go forward to the centre. So 1-1-7, leads 0. So Bunbury should have made the most of that because it was something that they probably were lucky to get hold of. But anyway, now Dale runs out of full back. He drives straight down the middle of the ground. Now the ruckman go, Deering, good mark, floats in front of Dern and takes a good mark. He moves the ball quickly to that far wing. Out there, he's got a teammate who wheels. I can't quite pick him up. That looks like Adrian Hare. They tell me this kid goes all right. He goes down the line to half forward. Good mark out there. Real good mark taken by Kyle Potter it is. He plays on quickly. Drives the ball 30 out. Deering's back down there. He can't take it. He's almost got the chop of the arms. He certainly did. Kerwin's picked it up. He's almost dropped that. Play on's the call now. Oh, well picked up there by Creasy, but he's a great tackle. That is dropping the ball all day long.
Talk about a Bunbury Mower Service tackle of the day. That would go very, very close to that. Jai Bolton.
He waited till he picked it up. He said, "You're going nowhere, son." And he's tackled him 60 metres out from goal. He goes into drives that kick. Oh, Deering's pushed under the footy, but out the back there is Perks. He takes an uncontested mark, chips out to the scoreboard towards Niski, and he marks 45 metres out from his defensive goal. He goes down the line there towards Denham King. He marks right on the defensive 50. Not much on offer. It's fairly stagnant out there. What's he do? He goes down that far wing. Parsons underneath it. Good, almost a good mark out there to the Donnybrook player. Now the ruckman and Gregory chases after good tackle. It's gone out of bounds. Yep.
Tell you what, the footy's whizzing about out there, Johnny.
Just trying to pick up who that was.
Thanks to MGIB, like a good neighbour, MGIB is always there.
I think it might be Renton. I'm not 100% sure on his favourite turn around. No, it wasn't. It was Gilchrist. So he's at half forward. 1-1-7 plays 0. Gregory works his way to the front. Play on. No, the umpire calls. Yep. He played for it and he got it. But, that's what you do.
That's going to be a good matchup too. Yep, we spoke about the matchup between the ruckman, thanks to Southers and Lachlan Security. It's already been interesting.
Oh, that's a terrible
kick. Probably need to run past for the handball next time.
So Bunbury got a 3-on-1 now. Picked up out there by the player in Denham King. He goes one way or the other. Chips down the line. Connor Walker. He handballs inside of Berraclough, who's got the run. He drills that ball 40 metres out. And a good kick and a real good mark taken down there by the player in the blue boots. I think it is young McKenna Taylor. And that seems to be the hot spot. They're all having shots from their crony.
Yeah, it was a pretty good kick, that.
It was a good kick.
Just to the forward's advantage.
Well, it had to be to advantage because it was a 3-on-1, but he was out the back leading to the fat side, and the kick went to the perfect spot. And he's
talk about the Harvey Norman interchange bench in front of us. There's a lot of people standing on here.
So McKenna Taylor goes back, and he's just gone wide to the right this time. So 1-2, 8 plays 0. So Bunbury really
not getting the most of it, are they, Bunbury? They're on top at the moment. The Bulldogs.
They've sweated on a couple of Donnybrook turnovers and a couple of bad disposals and made the most of it. Now Dale, he's going to come out this side this time again. That's just a horrible floater, but underneath it, the ball goes one way or the other. Persic, he goes to tap it. This time picked up by Durham. He handballs wide to Perks. He's knocked off the line of the ball. Out there is a young player. Real good spoil, but young Kyle Wright was trying to take that, and through there come Hamish Hutton and says whack over the boundary line, takes ball and player, and we got an out of bounds 55 metres out from the Bunbury goal, hard up against the boundary line.
Thanks to the Bank of Queensland Bunbury too for your support for this afternoon.
Yep, to all the sponsors. Once again, without them, we couldn't be on air, Croney. Ruckman at it. Now she bounces one way or the other. Good pick up there from player there in Adrian Hare again. He hacks that ball forward. No one really wants it now. Just thrown out there towards Howlett was it taken high. Play on's the call. It's Falco. Picked up there by a good pick up by young Zach, who's it, Gerard.
Well, that was a good pick up by the umpire. He did just have a handful of jumper.
It just took me off the footy. I was looking back where the ball come from. I thought there might have been a relay kick.
Just grabbed the jumper.
Gilchrist, he goes right out that other side there looking for his teammate. He can't take the footy out the back. There's Taylor. He's going to run onto the loose ball. He's coat-hanged. He's got to kick about 70 metres out from his home goal, right on that far side on the boundary line. He looks to come in board. Play on's the call now. He just drills that ball to true centre forward. And how this happens, God knows. Harry Creasy, one of your main players as an opposition to man up on, is 30 metres on his own. He chips wide to Heisman. He takes a mark 15, 20 metres out, hard in the right-hand pocket. And now the umpire's played 50 metres, has he? Yep. He was taking the ground after he marked it, and fair enough. So he just walks to the goal line and pops that through. So Bunbury get reward for effort there. 2-2-14, Blaze 0. So Donnybrook will be disappointed in that. They were going forward. They had an open forward line and just that little hold, and they've paid the price. It's gone forward. Some loose checking on Creasy there. He was all on his own at forward 50.
And if you let him do that, that's something South did very well. They closed that gap up on him nicely. But a little bit of reward for effort, Bunbury. They've definitely been on top of this quarter.
Well, Donnybrook have probably been inside forward 53 times, and Bunbury would have been in probably 7 times, and they've hit the scoreboard 4 times. So that's the difference in the game at the moment in general field play. Donnybrook just got to tidy up their disposal. They're getting their hands on the ball, but just turnovers just far too easy.
Especially moving in that forward 50, they're just playing into the Bunbury defence, and as soon as Bunbury get an defensive unit, they're just running it straight through the middle.
So Gregory, up he goes. This time Parsons wins a knock. No one can pick it up. In there's Falco. He's wrapped up. Play on's a call. Gregory goes in, just bulldozes his way through, but they're still in the centre of the ground, and the umpire said give it air. We'll start again. 14 plays 0. All Bunbury at this stage on the scoreboard. So up she goes, right in the middle of the ground. Parsons and Gregory. Gregory this time straight down. Trey Field Hamish Hall can't pick up the footy, and the umpire says give it here. We're still in the centre, in the circle, Croney, in the dust bowl, and we'll start again.
Thanks to Lindmark Bearing Equipment for your support as well.
Over the top, good pick up there from Hare. He just gives that footy towards his teammate. Then Bolton out the back is running onto the footy. That was well read there by number 21. I haven't got his name here, but he's run to the goal square and put that through. Someone will let us know who he is. It's Potter, is it? He's wearing the wrong number. I did ask the boys to get these numbers right.
Yeah, I've even just got the official team sheet and I was looking for it. It's Potter.
It's Potter. That was well done. He read that because the 4 players in front of him all went up and he said, I might get lucky here. And sure as hell, he just run onto a ball 20 metres out and run to the goal line, dribbled it through. And they've got finally hit the scoreboard. 1 straight 6, trail 2-2-14. And we've been playing probably 15 minutes into the first quarter.
That's on the Southwest Isuzu scoreboard. It doesn't make a difference when you can get us in a clearance, which is Donnybrook did that, pushed it and long bounced over the top. And Potter, who's supposed to be wearing 22, has got 21 on.
Yes, it makes it hard when you don't know him. But anyway, back to the middle we go. Gregory and Parsons. Gregory goes again. Kendall's going to run onto a ball. He's got players wide. He decides he didn't know. He lost his legs. Picked up there by his teammate in Gerard. He's got a couple of good touches. He handballs back towards Hare, is it? Almost a good mark by that man who kicked the last goal. Well rove there by young Hutton. He screws that ball back. And I tell you what, Craney, that was a real good effort from Hamish Fraser,
was it?
Sorry, Fraser. Sorry, I on the sheet he's the second name. I just assumed it was number 2. But yeah, young Ben Fraser. He's been quite a good goal sneak for Donnybrook over the last couple of years. And,
I reckon he'll just about go in as a contender for the Western All-Pairs Services goal of the day. We're also looking for the CPR Outdoor Centre mark of the day. And I don't know whether you've seen the pictures of Kerry Park, young Orsley yesterday, but I reckon he took the mark of the season over at Kelly Park yesterday. It was an absolute beauty.
I did see a freeze frame of that, but that was almost comedy errors because Kendall come out beautifully. He thought he had someone to handball to wide. He looked across, it was a Bunbury place. Thought, geez, I've got to kick this. And then he tried to kick it on his right, hold it on his left. It was all inside out. And Fraser's almost done the same thing when he snapped that goal on his left foot. So almost a comedy of errors, but they got the result. 2-2-14 Bunbury. They lead Donnybrook 2 straight 12.
And that's what we were saying about Bunbury need to take the most of the opportunities. The game will ebb and flow.
It certainly will. And Donnybrook have just in the last couple of minutes taken the most of their opportunities, as you said, Craney. Ruckman go to it. Parsons this time. Heesman's held. Play on's a call. No one can take the loose footy. Picked up there by Kendall, but there's a hold. You could, yep, that was fair enough. Denham King just threw his arms in the air. He made sure the umpire seen it, and the off umpire did, and he called the ball back. In the middle of the ground, play on's the call now. He drives out to this right side. Number of players around it. Creasy can't mark the footy. Oh, well roved off hands by Ninsky. He goes one way or the other, spins back in. He's going to get tackled if he's not careful, and he does. Luckily, he had his teammate there in Hall behind him to handball, but Donnybrook player should have marked that then. Play on's the call. They hustle and bustle, 25, 30 metres out from the Bunbury goal. Adau's taken a relieving mark. That was probably luck's a fortune, as you would say.
A little bit of experience there by Adau too. Just turned his body at the right time.
Yeah, he did. He protected right, and his beautiful kick comes down towards Falco, but he's just carried, and Parsons taken uncontested mark here in front of the Bunbury coach's box. He drives in again, centre forward, Creasy. Someone man him up. The kick's carried. Connor Walker at the back. Slips a tackle, goes one way or the other. He handballs wide to Hall. What's he going to do? He just chips inside. He's missed his target. No, he hasn't. Play on's the call. Ninsky gives it a loose ball. He's check side and straight over the goal umpire's head. Bunbury 3-2-20. They lead Donnybrook 2 straight 12, and that was again taking your opportunities when they come.
That is on the Southwest Isuzu scoreboard. And yeah, Ninsky's looking up and about today, isn't he? We know he's a quality player, but he's covering a lot of ground and working very hard, knows where the goals are, and slotted it through very nicely.
Yep, his teammate there in right was under the footy. He actually, I'm not sure the umpire must have called touch ball because he took the mark from here. It looked like a clear mark. The Donnybrook player missed the ball and the man, he missed everything. But he quickly handballed onto Ninsky, so whether there was a call of touch play on, otherwise he was only 30 metres out himself. He could have went back and slotted it, but they got the same result that they required, and Cooper Ninsky's kicked his second for the afternoon.
Good crowd in here, thanks to Geograph Industrial Supplies. Nice little crowd in at Payne Park this afternoon.
I'd say it's going to get a bit loud as we go along because we've got a couple of familiar faces down in front of us that like to make a bit of noise, which is good.
You've got to have a bit of noise at the footy, don't you?
Certainly do. Heesman's picked up the loose ball in the middle of the ground, just drives forward. Good ball down there from Young Dale. Oh, good tackle there. Wright's picked up a loose ball. Slick handball to Durham. He just handballs wide to his teammate there in Gilchrist, I think is. He slings out a hand pass to Hall. He goes over the top to Denham King. He goes backwards to the top to McKenna Taylor, about 55
Doesn't
metres.
waste too many of the footy, Denham King. Very classy
He turned
player.
and he was able to see exact. So McKenna Taylor just goes up and under. Bunbury in the box seat here. Well, good spoil there from it was Persich down the back line. I don't know what he's doing down there. Now Kendall, he can't take the loose ball, but he's got numbers. Falco, he good handball out there towards Hare. He goes one way or the other. Just kicks up and under down this wing. Number of players around it. Oh, well done there by, is it Gilchrist, I think it was. It was a good solid Renton. He chips into the middle of the ground. So now it's Stenhouse at centre forward. He comes into the hole. That's a hole down there. No, play on's a call. Bunbury pick up a loose ball. Real clever pick up, and it snaps just a little bit wide.
Bunbury are owning that centre of the ground. They seem to have a lot of space in the centre circle. When they get in a bit of trouble, they're always going back in through that centre where they've got someone there. Donnybrook just need to tighten up through that midfield.
It's just more at the true centre forward area. They seem to have a loose all the time.
They've always got someone sitting there.
Yeah, I mean, Creasy twice for a player, if he's, who he is, to be left alone at centre forward is unbelievable. But anyway, so Bunbury will pick up a loose ball on that far side. He comes on towards Jamin King. He can't pick it up. And the ball's beat him out of bounds, and she rolls out. And we'll have a throw in about 65, 70 metres out from the Bunbury goal on the far side. So a couple of these numbers, I'm just looking down at this list and I'm confused, but anyway, it doesn't take
and
much
they're the
to confuse
official
me,
team
Craney.
list.
Yeah. And I did ask both team managers to make sure the numbers are right, but anyway. So Donnybrook get a loose ball. Handball comes in the middle of the ground and players running one way and the other. Quick kicks through there from Gerard. He's got a couple of good touches. He just pokes that towards Potter. He takes a mark 65 metres out from his home goal. He's got a runner there in Benny Howlett. He's had a quiet start. He unloads from 55 metres out. He's going to get a run and carry here. That's but it doesn't matter because Persich is there. He goes one way or the other. His kick smothered, is it? Oh, it did. Luckily there for the Bulldogs.
How's that footy? It landed right on the line and bounced straight back. It landed in Percevic, but for any intents and purposes, emphasis. That should have rolled in through from Benny Allen. He kicked that from about 55. Wow, that's unlucky.
As a backman, you dread that, but he was lucky. It probably hung a bit too long in the air for Percy.
It's like a boundary throw-in, wasn't it? Land on the back of the bin. You couldn't do that if you tried.
3-3 lead 2-1. Kerwin brings the ball in. He's going to go straight up the middle of the ground. Number of players around it. Who's going to fly? Dale goes from the back. Almost gets the 2 hands to the ball. He's picked up the loose ball now. He just dribbles at it towards his 50, attacking 50. Renton, he handballs to no one. Picked up there by Hare. He's going to go to the goal square. Deering at the back. Can he work his way to the front? He can't. Berraclough, he just slaps that through for a defensive behind. And unfortunately there for young Deering, he just couldn't get his hand on it to bring it down to his teammate. And Berraclough's done very well. He's rushed that through from behind. So
Lucy Dale had a fair sort of dump in. If he had taken that would have been a beauty for CPR Outdoor Centre mark of the day.
I could see him coming about 10 deep. I thought, no, you're dreaming, son. But he got up and under. Dangerous kick in towards Denham King, but he's marked that 40 metres from his defensive goal with Benny Howlett bearing down. So he goes wide to that far wing now. There's all sorts of whistles going. Someone's been dropped in the middle of the ground. Umpire Hutchison's seen it. There's a bit of push and shove. And Hamish Hall is going to take the free kick. Are they paying a 50 or what? Hutchie's got his arm out and running. The ball. So just inside the centre square on defensive side. Now we've got the fans getting vocal, which we want to see. So Hall, he just horribly kicks it out. But Berraclough's about 20 metres clear, so it doesn't matter. He runs towards his attacking 50, just wobbles that inside.
That's a great mark,
courageous mark from young Jacob Kendall.
He's got no fear, has he, young Jacob Kendall?
Like his old man. They just one way, mate. It's just flat out.
Love the way he goes about the job.
He just chips over the top towards Benny Heller. He's starting to get busy now. He plays on very quickly. He goes wide there to Coates, I think it is. Big left foot over the top. Good kick towards the player there in Potter. He can't get the bounce he wants. He just runs that over the line. So they've turned defence into
been busy though, Potter.
Yeah, he looks like a bit of a wet weather footballer, it would be fair to say, but he reads the ball very well in the air. We've seen a couple of times that he's got over the back, and even then he turned his player inside out. If it hadn't been on the boundary, I think he would have been away.
We spoke about the Harvey Norman interchange bench. It's getting a big work out here.
I'm just watching down there, Croney. I'm thinking,
I'd like to tell you it was coming off, but I'd have too many ticks on the book.
So Berraclough's got the free kick on that far wing, backward of the wing.
Carrying on his good form from last week too. He's probably Bunbury's best last week.
He's probably been their best so far today too. So what's he going to do? Not a lot of movement down the field. Donnybrook got a couple of numbers back. That's a horrible inside-out torpedo. Donnybrook make a meal of it. Hare picks up. He handballs towards the big fella in Giblet. He just pokes into the middle of the ground. He's got numbers there. Falco picks up. He's got Persich riding shotgun, but he just decides to go to the half-forward flank. Foot race on. Deering eyes on the footy. Bunbury come out there through Renton. He picks up. Handballs out towards Perks. He's got nowhere to go. Chips over top. Well done there. A real good smother by Lucy, and the ball goes out of bounds in front of his coach's box.
What a spot to do it too. That 1%er right in front of your coach.
Yeah, right in front of the coach. He'd be happy with that, and he says, I won't drag you because you just done something well. So well done there. It was a good smother. You can see Perks was under all sorts then. He had one behind him, one in front, and it was good pressure by Donnybrook. The boundary throwing comes in. Well done there by the big fella in Gregory. Topped up there by passes. He can't take it. All players will wrestle to the ground, and we'll have a ball up right on the 50-metre paint for Donnybrook at high half forward. Crane, I'll get that out of me, foot out right out of me mouth. Good, well done there by Howler. Onto the left foot he goes, just tumbles that towards It's almost a hole down there by Potter. He's almost, that's unlucky. Good pick up there from the player there in number 12 in Bo Lucy, and the ball just got smothered. It's gone out of bounds. Deep in attack for Donnybrook. They're about 15 metres around from their goal.
Great first quarter of Southwest Football League.
It certainly is. 21 plays 14. 7-point lead to the Bulldogs. They got away early and they maintained the break. Play on's a call now. There he is, Berraclough. Picks up a loose ball. Slips a tackle. He runs out at the 50. Slips down this wing. Out there is Giblet. Well done. Just work, young pass. It's too big, too strong. He's run himself into trouble there. Is it Howard? No, it's Dale. Right in the middle of the ground. What's he going to do? Well done by Potter there. He runs out of that fat side, takes the mark right on the paint of 50 in front of the scoreboard, just chips inside. A horrible kick. Lucy can't take the loose ball now. Now he runs on. Good shepherd there by Potter. Lucy works back onto the ball. The Bunbury player there in Perks. Good tackle. That's dropping the ball. And it certainly is, says umpire Hutchison. No, it is. It's Aaron Andrews. So he's trying to play for 50. Just get on with it, son.
We're looking for the best on ground too, thanks to WA Carpet Supermarket.
So Perks drives his team down to that wing. He's got King. Is it? No, it's Hall. The bell bounces one way or the other. He just taps it over the top, but it went out of bounds, the umpire said. So right true, smack bang in the middle of the wing on that far side. She's rolled out of bounds. As we said, 21 plays 14 as we tick down to the later stages of the first quarter. Been very entertaining start to the game,
Good
Croney.
to see Sugar Atherton out there running water, giving Benny back to the club.
He'd be given a fair bit of instructions out there too, Croney.
You reckon he's just quietly running a bit of water?
He's not running no water, trust me. Heisman picks up a loose ball on the wing. He hacks that forward, but out there, the Donnybrook player couldn't take the mark in Bolton. It eludes him, and she rolls out of bounds, and I can't answer that phone, Mum. You have to ring back later. So,
happy Father's Day to everyone out there
yes,
too. And especially if you're having a drink at the Hollow Beach Bar and Grill, taking Dad out for a drink.
There was a few out there this afternoon. I went past on my way here, so good to see the sponsors being patronised. Boundary thrown, 45 metres out for the Bunbury goal. A lot of players went to ground, and Giblet just throws it back between his legs. Bunbury player and Walker picks up. Heisman just squeezed that in about 30 metres out from goal. Bunbury can't take them up. Play on, but they got the extra on the ground. Well done there by the Donnybrook defender. Just socketed that clear. Gets to about 45 metres out. Stenhouse, he picks up. He's right on 50. Takes a good look at goal. Sets sail from about 45 metres out. She drops away to the left. Through for a behind. Bunbury 3-4-22. Lead the Dons 2-2-14. A handy 10-point lead.
That's on the Southwest Isuzu scoreboard. And you're noticeable, John, that those balls are drifting away to that outer side, so there must be a little bit of wind going straight across the ground.
It seems to be a thing in that pocket, but it always is on a fine day or a windy day that does drift on that side. So Donnybrook unload out to that far side. Bunbury player couldn't take the mark out there. A number of players around. Donnybrook player, I think it was Young Hare, has ridden into the ground. The umpire said, give it air, I'll ball it up. It wasn't. It was Bolton, I think it is. No, Lucy.
Also looking for the rising star, thanks to the Hemp Brothers for your support for that.
Up they go. Parsons, Howlett, he can't run away with the footy. And the umpire, he's going to pay it too. All the Bunbury players threw their hands in the air calling for deliberate, and the umpire brought right into it. And he says, yep. So
except for Benny Howlett, he wasn't too amused with it.
He wasn't happy with it. So the Bunbury players elected to kick it. I think it was Durnham. He just rolled that down the line, and she got about 40 metres and repaid the favour and went out of bounds. So we're going to ball in about 35, 40 metres out. We won't have it because the quarter time siren just sounded. So 22 plays 14. Bunbury with a handy 8-point lead, and she's game on here, Croney.
That is on the Southwest Isuzu scoreboard. Thanks to Hearth House. Get that warm feeling. We're going to take a break, and we're going to come back with quarter two. Welcome back to Payne Park. It is quarter time here, and it is 3-22 Bunbury. They lead Donnybrook 2-14 on the Southwest Isuzu scoreboard, which is quickly around the grounds thanks to Geograph Civil. And Bustleton have got off to a very nice start up at Beauville Park. They are 351. They lead AMR 529. And Dunsborough 315 lead the Harvey Bulls 28. Very, very impressive first quarter by these two sides. Donnybrook would just have to lift their skill level a little bit. Johnny, just going into their kicks are just missing their targets by that small margin, which allows Bunbury to get in. And Bunbury are controlling that centre corridor, if you like. There's always somebody sitting at that half-forward line in a bit of space.
Yeah, a couple of times I've gone back through the middle and players have been way too loose. And even that centre half-forward position, we've had, two of their mainstays in Creasy and even Heisman being, way loose in that true centre half forward position. It's and Bunbury been good enough to hit them up. Probably lucky that they didn't put the score on the board, but you just can't have players of that, or any player, let alone some of your better players being loose in an attacking position like that. So.
Couple of the crowd a bit slow getting off.
Yeah, they're in no hurry.
No worry at all, are they? Umpires are all looking at them, players are looking at them.
They paid their $13 to get in. They're enjoying their time in the oval. So
2 goals to Cooper Nitchie for Bunbury and 1 to Dylan Heisman, and a goal to Benny Fraser and 1 to Potter for Donnybrook as the crowd has dispersed Payne Park. Umpires are just about ready, and we are set to go in the second quarter of the clash between Bunbury and Donnybrook. And away we go, Johnny Bajetta.
Here we go. Gregory and Durnham is at Parsons. Over the top. Well, no one can take it. Now Parsons just slapped that ball forward. Walker, he's over it. He can't take the footy. Picked up there. Oh, good tackle, but that's dropping the ball, son.
That's a great tackle.
Aaron Andrews was right there. So Benny Howlett, he wrapped up the big ruckman in the middle of the ground. He just goes to true centre forward. Out comes Deering. That's a chop over the shoulder. Play on's a call. Well done there by Lucy. Just couldn't quite get through, but they got the numbers. Can he get a handball out? No, he can't. So 40 metres out directly in front of their home goal, and we'll have a ball up. It was well done there by Bunbury because Donnybrook had the extra. through. And if
that
it's coming
tackle
out,
will go down for Bunbury Mower Services nomination for tackle of the game as well by Benny Hallett.
yeah, that was a good tackle. Up they go. Now they, oh, there
Oh,
he is.
nicely
Now, is
read.
it? It's young. The player I was talking about for the game in Adrian Hare, he snapped that from about 40 metres. It floated, as you said, Craney into that magnet pocket, and it's hit the behind post on the full. Oh, that's a dangerous kick into play by Perks, but he was lucky that Gilchrist took the mark with Perks. It's right on his hammer. He goes far and wide to that far side. The ball has carried the ruckman out there, and she's gone out of bounds.
Speaking of ruckman, I reckon Todd Gregory's just got his timing a little bit out this afternoon. He's leaving just that tad early. Just needs to rectify that.
I'm just trying to work out. It doesn't. I'm looking at these numbers. It's doing my head in. Anyway, boundary throw in on the high half forward wing area for the Dons. Picked up there by Bunbury. Well done, Walker. He just comes down, floats that ball. It's just carried a touch over Denham King's head, and Archer Coates has taken the mark. He chips out wide to his teammate on that far side. On a true wing position, just trying to pick up who it is. A young bloke out there just drives that ball to half forward. Donnybrook got a 2-on-1, and it's a good mark out there to. It wasn't. It was
No, I think
Bolton.
it went across.
He couldn't take it. It just rolled out of bounds. So about 60 metres from the Dons' goal. Just trying to pick up that Donnybrook player who picked that up. It looks like was. Don't think it was young hair. He looks very similar, whoever it is. Anyway, throw in. Ruckman go at it. No one can take a clear ball. Now Donnybrook have the numbers. Picked up there by the Donnybrook player. I think that was Hare. Whacks it on his boot. About 45 metres out from the Dons' goal. Play on's a call. We can't claim a mark in there. Deering's wrapped up. He's slung to the ground. And the umpire said, give it here. Well, it wasn't Deering. It was Potter, was it? He's number of Bunbury players.
It was Hare. Johnny's got the different socks on.
Yeah,
there.
I've seen that, and I've seen someone else was wearing them as well, and I think now the kid's on the boundary. Must be a peel thing, I think. Anyway, loose ball comes out the back to Kendall. He goes one way or the other, but that's a real good tackle from the Bunbury player. No one's going anywhere, and the umpire said, give it here. We'll ball it up 55 metres out from the Dons' goal. So they're pressing. They need to get a ball inside that forward 50 to get in the scoring zone.
They need to get a bit of a flow. Their first two goals have been sort of
luck more than anything.
Yeah, a bit wishy-washy.
So Bilsich hacks that out of mid-air, and she's gone out of bounds on the full. On that high half-forward wing area. So this time the player there in Adrian Hare, he's going to bring the kick back into play. What's he going to do?
Getting a bit of the footy is Adrian.
He certainly is. As I said, someone pulled me jumper before the game and said this kid can play. So Deering comes out. That's a real good mark from young Dero. He just set himself. He had a player in front of him. He had a defender bearing down from behind. But he just said, I want that more than anyone else. And he's taken the mark.
You know what is good about young Cooper Clark? He's getting more and more attention as the years runs on, and he seems to be able to handle it all right for a young player.
Well, he's got that, don't say it the wrong way, the arrogance to believe in his ability, and that's the sort of
You've
thing.
got to have that, don't you?
You certainly do. All the good players have got it, and he goes back and lays his ears back, but he just pushed that wide, but unlucky there. His teammate in, who was a Bo Lucy, couldn't quite bring that down, so it goes through from behind. So we've got 22 plays 15, early stages of the second quarter.
Well, that's
too easy coming out of defence.
Way
Kerwin
too easy.
Hits up Jamin King.
That was just a slowness to get organised coming out of defence.
He wheels and goes out towards Connor Walker in that far wing. He's able to mark the ball over Kendall. He just comes back inside towards Denham King. A horrible kick. Now he's got a runner in Bilsich. He's got a spare out there in Niski. He handballs. He's coming back inside to King. He's followed up. He just whacks that on the boot, drives it just inside the attacking 50, and Luke Dale is back there. He plays on. He takes a mark. He's got a good switch out this far side if he can get it towards Persich. Good kick out there. He takes an uncontested mark. Heisman stands the mark. Would have liked to have kept going. He chips inside towards Hare. He set the true centre.
He did look up, but there was very little to go to.
He chips over the top towards Falco.
Oh,
he's dropped what he should have taken. Good tackle to Perks. He just pops that up. Play on's a call. He's been held without it now. Heisman just throws that out. Umpire calls play on. Creasy picks up the footy 60 metres out. Pops it over the top to young Wright, is it? He takes a mark 45 metres out. He squares up. He's got Jamin King, is it? Denham King 40 metres out. More direct in front. And he'll go back and, for the Bulldogs' sake, hopefully put this through.
And once again, they preyed on the Don's mistake there, and Sammy Percevic had just pulled up with a bit lame there, so I hope he's all right. His first game back for a little bit.
That's a bit Falco would never drop a mark like that, so they're away then. So just for their sake, if this goes left or right, but Denham King comes in, deliberate approach on goal, kicks from 40 metres directly in front. She's gone straight over the goal umpire's head. That really rubbed salt in the wound. So they've moved to 4-4-28. Later, Donnybrook 2-3-15, and just edging away a little bit on the scoreboard, Craney. And Donnybrook had a good switch there and just didn't make the most of it.
That's on the Southwest Isuzu scoreboard, and Denham King, he is absolute star. He's got one of the best kicks in the business as Denham King. made no mistake about it. As soon as he hit his boot, he raised his arms in the air. He knew where that was going. And once again, as you said, Johnny, just the Dons' turnovers are creating problems for them.
Yep, they had a 3-on-1 and unfortunately don't go on.
Well, everyone had pushed forward
yeah,
because that's where they thought the ball was going. So it left their defence a bit undermanned.
Yeah, it certainly did. It was good vision by young Wright because it might have been right on his kicking range there. So up they go in the middle of the ground. Everyone missed that. But the big fella there for Donnybrook in Gregory picks up and slams on the boot. Now the Dons take a loose footy. No one can get it. Oh, squeezes out the back there. In goes Gregory again. He just pushes forward towards Kendall. He's tackled. Play-on's a call. Number of players all around.
It's a bit tough in there,
got
mate.
Willing. There was blokes getting pulled off left. I shouldn't say
boots,
like that, though.
There was boots getting flying everywhere.
The only thing that was missing was a happy ending there, Craney. So just inside the centre square and the Dons attacking. Up they go. Durham wins the ruck. Beautiful tap out wide. Berraclough, he runs onto a loose ball. He gets a good shepherd there from Creasy. He kicks wide towards Denham King again. He's going to take it in front of the Dons coach's box. He slips over one way or the other. He's got a loose inside. A horrible kick. Now the Donnybrook player there who couldn't pick it up through, can't pick the number up there. And Bolton, he couldn't take it. Oh, well done there. Good spoil there from Hutton. He just come over the top. But a loose ball was kept inside. The Bunbury player, one too many, son. You've tried one way, you've done the other. And young Gilchrist, you just sort of whack that on your boot. But
he missed the first two, but he didn't get the next one.
You were never going to get out of that. So good
Jai
tackle.
Bolton,
he just chips towards young Lukey Dale, still in the defensive 50. He's just going to have to go down the line to the numbers here. No, he doesn't. He elects to switch. A dangerous switch. I'll tell you what, young Hutton had to wait eternity for that to drop, but he's got Giblet on the far side in front of the scoreboard, which reads 28-15 Bunbury's way. He drives that footy down on that far wing in front of young Gerard. He marks it a high half back area. What's he got on offer? Howlett leads. He's got a couple short if he wants to. He got Coates in the middle of the ground. Run hard. He pushed up to that wing, takes a good mark. Unfortunately, he had to go back to take his kick, but he wheels. Yeah, this is the one. If he could have played on, they were out. But anyway, that's a real good kick out there to Lucy. He marks above his head. He's about 70 from goal on that far side. He wheels inside on his right boot. Kicks to about 35 metres out. Who works his way to the front? Potter. He can't take them up. Play on's a call. A lot of arms up in the air looking for a free kick. The umpire says, get your own ball, son. In they go. The ball comes back out through Kerwin. Benny Howard stands his ground. He's got a loose. Real good kick towards Kendall. Will it sit for him? It does. 45. He has a good look at goal. He slips over, but as she does, Craney, she goes left as it has done all day so far.
Right.
You've called it. It's your
Might
pocket.
be a message to go out there. You need to aim it a little bit towards
aim for the right post. Yep. So Kerwin, he doesn't waste any time. He comes out this far side. Walker's underneath it. He takes a good mark. That's a good mark. His legs were taken. It was an accident.
Are we going to put that down for a chance?
That was a good mark. That was
the CPR outdoor centre mark of the day.
It was a simple mark, but it was a good mark, if that makes sense. So he chips to Berraclough in front of his coach's box. What's he going to do? He's trying to direct. The umpire calls play on now. Well done there by Deering. He forces a tackle. Has the handball back towards Walker. He gives a sloppy handball to Berraclough. He just kicks off one step now down the line. Dale can't affect the spoil, but a good run from Bolton from behind. He's whacks that on the boot. Is she going to go out? She's hanging, and she does. And the Bunbury's coach's box are all fighting over the uncontested mark. And
there's a stat down in there, and the Bunbury's coach, they're pretty happy about that too.
So Kerwin's going to take the kick.
They're going to have a crack for the mark of the day in that one, John.
So Kerwin to relieve the pressure in front of his coach. He'll be getting plenty of instructions there. He just comes down the line. Number of players underneath it. Good spoil there from Coates, but as she goes over the back, Durnham's going to win the race of the footy. He just soccers that because Dale's right on his hammer. Oh, well done there by Durnham, but he's dragged that in, has he? The umpire, what's he going to play? Ooh, lucky is what I can say.
It was a bit.
He just literally dragged that in. We could see it because it was right in front of us, but he dodged the bullet there. Anyway, 28 Bunbury lead Donnybrook 16. The Bulldogs attacking. They've got it just above their 50-metre arc. Ruckman wrap up. Play on's a call. There was a hold on a Donnybrook Ruckman. Yep, the umpire's seen that. And it is young Bo Lucy to relieve the pressure. The kick down the line. Well done there by Potter. He takes a mark in front of us, Craney. What is he, a right or left? Play on's a call now. He's just up and under. Again, the Bunbury coach's box in the position. Deering underneath it. He's worked off the line of the footy there by Jamin King, and she's rolled out of bounds in front of young Maxie Bilsich.
Potter shows a bit, doesn't he? He just moves well.
He's
strong.
I'm just trying to think the bloke they had a couple of years ago, same build and just moved very similar. He was from the lower southwest area. I'll think of him shortly. Anyway, boundary throw in. As we said, 28 plays 16. Howlett, he just goes one way or the other. He said, give me the footy, I'll show you what to do with it. He drives that ball into the 50.
We did at that.
Real good kick. Potter could have been paid a push there. Play on. Was he paid? Yep, right in front of umpire Valenti. And right on the 50.
That'll make a difference when you give your forwards a percentage in their favour.
Yep. That was a good kick. I mean, obviously you expect that from Howlett. So he kicks from 55, just lays his ears back. Who's in the goal square? Donnybrook, all uncontested. Persich going to run on. He just sockers that straight through. Donnybrook, Bunbury are claiming touch ball. But the goal umpire's going to wave 2 hands, and we're going to have a score review, are we?
I'm not sure whether... I think the umpire has called.
The central umpire's there, so it'll be his call if he doesn't trust the goal umpire, obviously. But he's called all clear. Oh, touched.
Touched, yep.
Fair enough. He was close enough to it.
Yeah, no, it was right there was Camberlenti.
Yep. There was no argument, so obviously they knew. So
I think the 2 Donnybrook boys knew as well.
Yeah, they weren't high-fiving. So Kerwin, he goes out the far side this time. He goes up and under. Get under that, boys. So we got out there Creasy and young Hare. Hare brings the spoil. Oh, good pick up there from number 20. There's what did he call?
He's through it.
Yeah. I don't know who that player is because we know this number is wrong here. I've got no idea. Might be Brown. I haven't called him. It could be young Brown. I know it's a Peel player by the Sox. Anyway, Bunbury come right across. That's 50 metres. No, it's not. You dodged the bullet there, young Lucy.
We did it that. I think he was a bit nervous there himself.
Yeah. He comes wide here to Ninsky. A horrible kick. It bounces. Potter corrals him. One way or the other, he's got loose inside. But again, that ball, it's a relay free kick anyway. So Hamish Hall takes a kick on wing. He just chips and almost misses Stenhouse. He gives it back to Ninsky. There was a bit of push and shove in front of us. It's quite a tempting bowler. Giblet, he just didn't affect the spoil at all there. He had that all covered, and then he ended up missing everything. And young Kai Wright is going to be the beneficiary here.
Donnybrook a bit slow to pick up on that run back, aren't they? On the carry of the footy, as you said, Giblet just couldn't quite get a hands.
I reckon that floated between his hands.
I reckon you're right.
He looked like he was all over that, and he can't believe it himself. He's standing on the mark, 40 out. Young Kai Wright's coming in with a deliberate shot on goal. He's going to kick from about 45. He's crabbing to the left. Where's this going to go? It's going to go to the right. So he went one way and the kick went the other.
That's
so
science.
4-5-29 leads 2-5-17. A handy 12-point lead to the Bulldogs. But it's just the
goals have dried up, haven't they?
It's been a funny game of football this second quarter. But Howlett plays on. Kendall drops what he should have taken, but he's got it 20 metres clear. He's calling his teammate up towards him in Lucy. He takes a good mark in front of Parsons. The umpire said play on. Now he's tackled. He gets his handball away there to Hamish Hutton. Is it? The play on's a call. Kendall's going to run head on into King. Play on there. Falco onto the loose ball. He's got about 4 to beat. He's good enough to get the handball back towards Kendall.
Played,
that was very well done. All the Bunbury players stopped wanting a free kick. Play the ball. Now Perks, he can't mark the ball that drops short. Play on's a call. Deering goes in there. Perks back over. He just throws it back out towards Persic. Kerwin's in there. He throws it out. Where's it going? It's like a cork in the ocean. One way or the other, and the umpire has finally come to throw.
Cork in the ocean, back.
Yeah, you'd be a bit unlucky there because there was about 4 throws, and finally...
Thanks to the Bank of Queensland, while we mentioned the cork in the ocean.
I popped the cork. I think Connor Walker's got every right to say, umpire, give me a break. There was about 4 before mine, but... young Jacob Kendall's a recipient of the free kick in front of the Bulldogs bench. He's looking to chip the ball forward. He does. Out there comes, is it Coates? No, it's not. It is young Brown. There's Brown. No, it's not young Jackson. He wheels on the left boot, drives it into the hot spot. Out the back, there's Persic. He's taken. You called it, Craney.
That's an
You seen it. You called
kick.
it. He was kicked to your mate's advantage. Perfectly weighted kick. Sam Persic just stood there. The Bunbury player was all around it. He was trying to read the line of the footy, and Persic, I reckon he was already going back to kick the goal before the ball got there. So
it was a great delivery into the forward line. That's what you want. I was looking. We were right behind that, and there wasn't a lot of options, and then just Percy just jumped out in the right spot, and he's seen him. So it's also not the vision was good as well as the execution.
Yeah, he done well. Then he took a good mark inside 50, and he just wheeled on that left boot, and now Persic comes in. He'll kick from about 28, 30 metres out directly in front. He pins the ears back straight over the goal umpire's head. The Dons pull one back, 4-5-29 Bunbury, leading Donnybrook 3-5-23 it'll be. 6-point ball game, Craney, as we probably pushing halfway through the second quarter.
That is on the Southwest Isuzu scoreboard. Yeah, they're just reading the clock for the Lindmark bearing equipment. We are heading towards the halfway mark of this quarter. In a quarter that's had a lot of action, but not too many goals.
No, it's been an interesting duel, as you said. I mean, both sides obviously going to play.
Have their moments,
footy,
don't they?
And I think Bunbury have been cleaner with the footy, but in saying that, there was a few errors here. It's easy up here. We haven't done one mistake all day, have we? But no, there's been a couple of flower bag kicks and things like that. So whichever side can really tighten up and get that hit their targets a bit cleaner.
It's just not fluent from both sides at the moment, is it?
No, we just seen.
But there's a lot of pressure.
I'd like to see him get in the game. I'll probably push him to half back and get him driving them forward from half back. Probably more so than hasn't been a lot of play on the wing where it would suit him at this stage. So back in the middle of the ground, Lucy and Parsons, up they go. No one can take the clean footy, but Benny Howlett says, this is how you do it, boys. He grabs it again, drives the ball to half forward. Potter's trying to hold his ground. Real good effort. Almost takes the mark. Picked up there by Kerwin, but he slipped the tackle. He was gone then. He just drills this ball out to this wing. Number of players run out, but Brown's going to win the race of the footy. He's worried about King coming towards him, and he took his eye off the footy. King handballs towards Parsons. He drills the ball into centre half forward. Giblett's got front spot. At the back, 2 hands and back was Durnham. Play on. McKenna Taylor slips a tackle. He screws on goal, but he's missed to the left-hand side. He had more time
than what he thought, I think.
His teammate there in Kubaninski is saying, mate, you could have run in and kicked it, or I could have slipped the handball and I could have walked to the goal line. So anyway, that's what pressure does. And the Bulldogs 4-6-30 lead at Donnybrook's 3-5-23. So what's happening here? The Donnybrook player in Hutton, I think it is, brings it into play. He goes up and under on that far side. Number of players out. Giblett just had the size, the bulk, and he just comes over top and takes an uncontested mark. Chips down the line towards Lucy.
That's better, a bit of run.
That was better.
It's the next one on.
Yep. And again, Donnybrook have come up too much into the play, and there's nothing over the top. Now he just waits for the run of Hare. He leads Berraclough to the ball. This bloke's in the middle of the ground about 80 metres away saying, kick it here. He hasn't got a super boot, so he just goes down the line. Deering's in front. Good contest from Jamin King down the back there. Well roved there by young Hare. Beautiful
Bang,
kick.
beautifully done.
That was a training drill, that kick. That was a beautiful kick to Persich. He's marked in front of that light pole about 45 metres out, hard up against the boundary.
Because that's the way that wind is dragging the footy. But gee, that young
the socks down.
Hayden Hare, he's had a lot of the footy.
He is a beauty. As I said, we were told before the game to watch out for him, and he's lived up to the hype. So Sammy Persich, what can he do? He's going to kick from 48 metres out, hard up against the boundary line. He deliberately comes in, 1, 2, 3, swings wide, unloads, horrible looking kick. Oh, it was very horrible. He just scraped through from behind. Normie Bedford's back from the States. Good on you, Norm. So Donnybrook 3-7-20, whatever it is, 24. 3-6-24. Lead trail Bunbury 4-6-30. So Kerwin, he goes to that far side again. He dribbles. That's a better kick out, but Donnybrook have the spoil outside there, and she's gone out of bounds. A good spoil.
Well, no, she's still in, Johnny.
Is it? Oh, she's rolled one. Got me,
called it a bit early.
I was looking to the thing. Falco's underneath this, but well done there by Berraclough. That was a real good mark.
I'm going to put that one down, I reckon,
that
for
was
nomination.
A good mark, because Falco had his
CPR or centre mark of the day.
Yep, he chips across to Bilsich. He's got a runner in Kerwin outside, but he misses him by about 20 metres with the handball. Kerwin has to wait. Deering's pushed off the tackle. He goes down the line to Perks. He's taken a mark in front of the unknown number 22 for Donnybrook. He chips inside. Well done there by, Oliver. He couldn't take the mark. Well done. Archer Coates goes in. Benny Howlett goes in. Everyone's wrapped up. I think Benny wants the ball up, and he's got that. Right on the wing in front of us, Croney. And
he's putting his hand up for the WA Carpet Supermarket Man of Match too, Benny Howlett.
Slow start, but he's more
worked
than made
his
up
way
for
into
it.
the game.
Certainly
well.
has. Lucy and Parsons picked up. Fergus wrapped up by.
Oh,
that was almost a half
there.
Nelson. He should have got a free kick for a high tackle, but anyway.
Hope you're enjoying watching the footy up at the Hollow Beach Bar and Grill overlooking the ocean, watching the big screen.
Yep.
And get that half-house feeling too, thanks to
Parsons works his way, but Howlett takes a loose ball. He's dragged down. The umpire was on the well, I think he missed the high tackle and he's paid the sling tackle, which is fair enough. But anyway. Bit of heat coming in there. Good run from Bolton. He does well. He runs. He's going to drive this kick long inside 50. A good kick out there to Deering. Kerwin's got hands in the back. Gets a good spoil. It comes down towards the player there, the Bulldogs player, running from defence in King. He's taken to ground. McKenna Taylor picks up a high half back. He squeezes inside. Kerwin can't take it. Now he's in trouble. Well done there by Lucy, but good pick up by Oliver. He goes back towards Taylor. He's running backwards. Handballs back defensive 50 towards Baxi Bilsich. He goes over the top to Berraclough on the wing. He just dollies that up and under towards Connor Walker, I think it is, on that far side. He's now called to play on. He comes back inside towards Berraclough. He just stops the momentum now. He says, just slow down a minute, boys.
He's putting his hand up too for the WA
he's
Carpet
had a fair
Supermarket.
bit of the footy. He's had a good game so
Thanks
far.
Thanks to MGIB,
good
like
kick,
a good neighbour.
He's just gone Oh,
Well, they were lucky there.
I won't say what I was going to say, but Braden Parsons is very lucky. He's kicked that ball all to Harry Creasy. Well done there by Big Giblet. Just threw himself back, but Connor Niski picks up a loose ball, gives it to Durnham, and he squeezed that through. I thought it was going to hit the post, but he's just paper thin. He's made it inside the goal post. Bunbury moved to 5-6-36. They lead Donnybrook 3-6-24. Again, they push out to a 12-point ball game. Luck's a fortune, as they say. And,
that is on the Southwest Isuzu scoreboard. Yep. And Trevi Durnan, well, it's good to see him out there playing footy. He looks every bit the player, doesn't he? It's going to take him a little bit of time to catch up with the pace of it all, but walked into a nice little goal there. And I tell you what, John, I thought he just about missed it, but it snuck through, and that's all you need to do.
I was watching him as he kicked it, and I was watching his reaction. I thought, this is going to hit the post, and I reckon I said it was only a piece of paper in between.
We're looking for the best defender too this afternoon for Garage Doors Southwest, so keep an eye out for the best defender this afternoon.
It's been willing. I think all the guys are having a crack. I said we've missed a few names here and there, but the balls move fairly quickly.
Chris Adow back onto this wing up against Jackson Oliver.
Yeah, I think maybe they just try and play through him a little bit to get him into the game, because we know what's going to happen when he gets hold of the footy a few times.
He's still one of the best kicks in the league.
Yeah, and that's what they need. Like I said, a lot of balls been floating in, and it makes it hard to hold their marks when the ball's coming in like a helicopter. But he can kick the footy 60 metres and hit your lace out. Still in the middle of the ground they go. A number of players go at it. It was a Brown's hold, Hare it was, but Bunbury pick up the loose ball, go inside 50. Well done there. Oh, good tackle too. It was a high. Yes, it was. It was well done there by Bolton, I think it is, for Donnybrook, and Creasy come across. It was a fairly aggressive tackle, but now he's missed Giblet. It's going to sit for him anyway, but he's got Lucy riding shotgun for him.
Oh, the big fella.
Well done, he sidestepped. He was lucky to get around there. Comes down this boundary side, but Perks is going to win the race.
He's done well down there, Perks.
Yeah, he's taken a diving mark there.
Him and Kerwin have been very, very good in that.
Kerwin likes
defense.
to run and carry. He's a release player, and Perks has just sort of been the one that's zoned off. He chips out wide towards Denham King. He made him work for that on his fingertips. So he's still in front of us, Craney, on this wing. What's he going to do? There's not a lot on offer. He just goes down the line and half forward. It's going to carry Connor Walker. It's a good spoil there. A real aggressive spoil there from Adow. It picked up there by Gilchrist. He just whacks that inside. Donnybrook have the numbers there.
It's going to
bounce.
It's
going to bounce anyway. Bolton stands underneath it. Oh, well done there. Luckily for him, he turned the right way. He goes out there towards the player there in young Gerard. He goes down that wing. What a good mark there out there from Benny Fraser. He's a long way from goal on that wing. He goes inside towards Kendall. He's pushed over. Now he's going to play on. Well done there by Fraser.
Set him up.
Was high. Oh, yeah. I thought he was going to get pinged for dropping the ball then. But
he was, but Barraclough's tackle just went high.
Yeah, so Fraser almost in the middle of the ground. Now he's called to play on. He just goes inside 50, but Bunbury have the numbers here. Well done there. Oh, Kendall stood his ground. He's handballed over top to Young Hare. He's got a player in right on his hammer. Picked up by Lucy. He checks sides. Who's in the square? Well done there by Young Heisman. He's a long way from where he should be, but luckily he was there. Potter, he chases a loose ball. One way and the other, he just snaps, and he snaps truly. He snaps a goal. The faithful in front of us, did he?
Put that down, Western Auckland Services. Goal of the day contender by Potter.
I was watching the boys in front of us, and
second.
Then they all stopped cheering. I thought maybe I called this too early, but it was a good goal from young Potter. He has looked very dangerous around that 35
He's solid. He holds his feet well, does Potter.
As I said, Craney, I had a guy, my brain is ticking, not that there's much of it, to try and remember who it was I had here a few years ago, and very similar sort of player, very strong on his through his hips, and doesn't go to ground. And he's looked very lively. He's not quick, but he just seems to read the drop of the ball very well. And that was a much-needed goal by Donnybrook. They just had to take that opportunity, and they did. So, well worked.
Quick around the ground, thanks to Geograph Civil. Harvey Bulls 4-3. Trail Dunsborough 5 goals, 4-34. And Bustleton 10-9-69 lead. AMR 7-7-49. So, interesting times at Belvo Park.
Yep, that certainly is. We've got a free kick here to Heisman at just inside the centre square for a hold. So, he's been very quiet other than the kick he got early in the game. So, what's he going to do? He's called to play on. He just chips that inside. Durnham comes out. He's pushed off it by Giblet. Well done. Oh, well done there by Archer Coates. He's got to loose out this side. Good call by the umpire to let that play on. You're in trouble there, young Parsons. You drew that in. Oh, the umpire said play on. So, now we've got Stacks on. Very lucky there. He just put the big mid out and dragged that in and under, and the umpire
Yeah, well, there's going to be
play.
some tired boys out there. This is played at a pretty hectic pace.
Oh, they're going to have to, Craney, because in a couple of weeks they're playing finals.
Exactly
There's gonna be
right.
A lot more up for stake than what there is today. But right on half-time, as you heard the siren, Bunbury 5-6-36, lead Donnybrook 4-6-30 on the Southwest Isuzu scoreboard. And we're in for a real good second half of footy here.
It is actually building very, very nicely. And you just mentioned finals footy there, Johnny, and we're sort of getting a bit of a taste of it. We had a taste with Kerry Park, South Bunbury yesterday. This is leading the way. We'll be back shortly with the Hollow Beach Bar and Grill halftime chat. This is the Hollow Beach Bar and Grill halftime chat, and I'm sure everyone up there is enjoying Father's Day, having a nice meal and a bit of a beverage. You can have a bit of a break from the halftime, looking at the big screen and watching a very good game of Southwest footy, which sees Bunbury 5 goals 6-36. They lead the visitors Donnybrook 4 goals 6-30. The solitary goal, pretty entertaining. Two goals to Cooper Niski for Bunbury, 1 to Travie Durnham and Denham King and Heisman. And for Donnybrook, 2 goals to Potter and 1 to Fraser and 1 to Sam Persevich. So, pretty handy game of footy so far, Johnny.
Yeah, it's been fairly willing. As I said, couple of, let's say, skill errors. The ball hasn't spun right off the boot a couple of times. But other than that, both sides have thrown themselves in there, created opportunities. And it's going to come down, obviously, the old saying, take your opportunities. And as I said, it's been willing and it's been hard to say we've kicked 5 goals and 4 goals. So it's not a flowing game where the scoreboard's going to split open. So it will come down to who actually can get polished inside that 50 and get the scoreboard right, because there's not much in actual field play. And, maybe each side will be looking for a couple of players who have been a little bit quiet to step up and try and get that edge.
I'd like to see Donnybrook a bit quicker on their defensive setup to man up, because Bunbury have that loose player too often for my liking. And even coming out of defensive unit after they've scored a point, there's Bunbury, they're too slow to pick up that zone or the man-on-man, however they want to do it. They need to be just that fraction of a second quicker with that.
They've either, what they're doing, you're right, that when they leave the defensive 50, the guys are drifting, but they're not pushing forward to be a target and getting that ball moving quick. So then on a turnover, they're in between and they're just watching the ball go back over their head, as you said, and they're getting caught out. If they're going to run off, they've got to run off and be an option and be used, so that the Bunbury attack then have to chase their men out, and then if it does get turned over, there's nothing loose out the back. So maybe Donnybrook through half-back, and if their half-backers are going to run down, they have to actually actively get involved in the play, and pierce through the Bunbury midfield and through their half-back line, and give their forwards the extra runners coming through to be able to hit the scoreboard and then open it up that way. But as you said, at the moment they're coming off their player and they're standing in no man's land. They're getting caught out on a turnover because, as we said, a couple of them kicks have missed targets, or the bad bounce or whatever. Either that or tidy up, really hone in on that skill error to hit the loose
skill
player.
level, that's where Bunbury are bunting on.
Yeah, turn and go quickly, so then your mate down the field isn't out of position. So you're right there. If they can get that right, then they could open this up. But on the other side, if Bunbury can keep the pressure on, then they might get a few easier looks inside 50 by being unmanned. So we'll see what happens. Around
the ground, thanks to Geograph Civil, Dunsborough 6 goals 4-40, lead the Harvey Bulls 5 goals 5-35. Not much in that game of footy. And Bustleton 10-9-69, lead AMR 7-7-49. This is the Hollow Beach Bar and Grill halftime chat. We'll be back after the break for the resumption of play. We had 2 goals to Kubanitski for Bunbury, 1 to Travie Durnham, 1 to Heisman and 1 to Barraclough. No, we didn't. 1 to Denham King. Barraclough just took a good mark, John. That's why he's got a mark down there. And for Donnybrook, Kyle Potter 2 goals and Fraser 2, Persevich 1. And that's about where it lands. This is the Hollow Beach Bar and Grill halftime chat. Johnny, a couple of Buckingham the Butcher's big moments. I think one of my favourite moments was when Jacob Kendall took off out through the middle and got his feet all mixed up and then dribbled us through it. End up result was a goal, but it was pretty comical to watch.
Yeah, there's been a couple of the throws down here. It was like aerial ping pong, and when young Walker got pinged, I mean, we're probably 100 metres away from the action where it was, and I could just see the look on his face. He looked at the umpire and was like, come on, mate, there's been about 5 and you finally pinged me. And it was almost, if you weren't on the opposition, you'd be laughing at him. But, yeah, and we've also, thanks to everyone who texts in, the phone's almost blown up. Number 22 for Donnybrook is Trent Brown, so we'll try and remember that. But thanks for your the messages. We got the message now, about 20 of them. But thanks a lot for the people out there that do listen and pick us up on our mistakes, and be very helpful for us. And yeah, Craney, it is a good game of footy. So if you're driving around town, you've got nothing to do. I think if you slip through the gate now, they probably won't charge you. Just drive through anyway. Come down and have a look at another hour or so that's left, and it is a cracking game. 5-6, 4-6, you'd think, not very exciting. But I can tell you, the action, the boys are having a crack. And they're very evenly balanced, and it'll just, as we said, who will take opportunities, who will dare the biggest and try and break a line and create some extra run, because that's probably the thing that has been missing from both sides, just some real line-breaking stuff, and just throw some caution in the wind and try and make it happen. So we'll see how we go in this third quarter. I think the first 10 minutes will be a real telling for the rest of the game.
Yeah, both sides back out onto the ground in pretty bright sunshine now, Johnny. It looks all right out through there. Just a quick around the grounds in Bustleton. AMR have moved within 2 goals of Bustleton at Beauville Park, so good game of footy happening out there. This one here, just a little bit of fluency from both these sides. They're just falling down when they're heading into that forward 50. Understandable from Bunbury, they're without Horton and Woods.
Yep.
They're 2 major forwards, if you like, and even if you look at Donnybrook, Smith out, which is it's a fairly handy target, Big Smith.
Yeah, they
takes a little bit of pressure off Cooper Clark Daring.
They would have liked him standing in the goal square today. A couple of high balls are gone in. I mean, they've taken a couple of marks down there, but they haven't been. There's been a lot of bombs going in, so Smitty would have been in his element today, just standing underneath and probably getting a couple of high contact over the shoulder as being that big. Normally, what happens when they can't reach up and spoil. So they put their hand on the shoulder, and the umpires sort of picked that up. So, and in Bunbury's, without Horton and Woods has been a good goal scorer for them. So it's obviously why the scoreboard hasn't been cranking at 100 mile an hour. But it's probably been, as I said, Bunbury have had good run off from Kerwin, and Perks have given good drive off half back, but they haven't been able to connect. And Donnybrook have been the same. So as I said, I think it's whoever's going to throw, be daring, a bit more daring, and really get the ball under the wing and run and carry a bit and try and open up the game so you can get your open player in a one-on-one.
And just a bit cleaner.
That's
where we're moving. Ben Howlett into the middle for Donnybrook. So that means Bo Lucy will start in the ruck for Donnybrook up against
Durham.
Young Durham, yes.
I'd like to see Addow brought into the game. It's just more for his kicking skill.
He's
I think if
out on the outer wing now, so
they haven't used him. The ball sort of, I think off half back he'd be more penetrating, and then his opponent would be more worried about him. I think out in that wing, because they haven't gone through him, they've just sort of, his opponent at the moment is Kupiniski. He hasn't been on him. This is probably the first time they've stood side by side. But they haven't really worried, and Donnybrook haven't used him. So I think if they can get some ball into his hand early in this quarter, he will punish. He will hit targets 60 metres away. So
third quarter just about to get underway for SEN Spirit. Ball is up in the air, and John Bajetta will take it away.
So Durham goes up. He can't take it. Oh, Howlett tries to Jackie Chan out of the air. Play on's a call. Good pick up there by Creasy. He's run down from behind. Now the ball goes out that far side. Niski and Addow. Niski gets a handball to Berraclough. He just beats the tackle and slips that ball out wider to Kai right on that.
He's been busy, young
Kai,
right?
He's got a bit of the ball, but there's that kick we talk about. That horrible kick goes towards Durnan. He was lucky he had a loose over the top there. Good handball inside to right. He's followed up, but he's run himself into trouble. In one way and the other, I think it's Gilchrist. Under the right boot, he just brings that back, and I tell you what, Craney, he's brought it back beautifully. And just what the doctor ordered for the Bulldogs, they've hit the scoreboard. I think it was young Gilchrist. He's slipped one through from about 40 metres, running away from goal, and it's gone just inside the goal, the left-hand post, right-hand post as we look at it, and they've hit the scoreboard nice and early in this third quarter. So they go to 6-6, 42. Lead Bunbury 4-6-30 to a handy 12-point advantage.
So you beat the scoreboard then on the Southwest Isuzu scoreboard, Johnny. And that was young Wright too. He's putting his hand up for the Hemp Brothers Rising Star. I don't know how old he is, but gee, was in amongst the play, and he just the follow-up work, which is good to see. Nice finish by Gilchrist, but the follow-up work for a young player, well done.
The other one that just take me only a couple of hours to realise, one we never miss is Jesse Ribble not out there today either, so that's a big miss for Bunbury. So back in the ruck, Bo Lucy up against Durnham. Durnham this time, beautiful tap to Bericloff. He can't take it. Falco can't take it.
He started the game.
Oh, did he? I'm not sure.
Yeah, he started the game.
Well,
so
that was an aggressive tackle there, but both players are up. No one's given an inch, and Hamish Hutton says, get out of my way. He's fighting out of his weight division, but he's having a crack.
He's down on the bench now, Jesse Ribble with the shirt on. So
is he? Oh, yeah, you're right too. I can see, Oh, well, they're down one if that was the case. So
maybe
Bearcraft goes in. He's taken high.
Find out what happened to Gribble.
In the middle of the ground, Bearcraft, he gets a run from Bilsich. He just slaps that on the boot. Again, a wobbler inside 50 and a drop there. What he should have taken. There's a Donnybrook player picked up there by Big Giblet. He's stripped of the footy as he's wrapped up by Parsons and almost at the defensive 50-metre arc. And Aaron Andrews said, give it here, we'll start again.
Big Gibber was just heading forward, wasn't he?
He was
Bit
coming
rugby
to us.
roll style.
He was looking straight at us, Croney. I think he's going to try and hit it in the box. The Donnybrook players just hacked that out. Young Lucy's run towards it. He can't take it. Niski sidesteps him. Handball inside to Denham King. One way or the other as well. He picks it up. He had too much time to have a look at that. Too much time for a player of his ability, and he just put that over the goal umpire's head. They've kicked a couple of quick ones early in this third quarter. They stretch it out to 18 points. They go to 7-6, 48, leading the Dons 4-6-30, and just far too much time and space inside that attacking 50 for the Bulldogs. Donnybrook need to tighten up. They need to get it going from the middle of the ground, and at this point in time, they're probably looking down the barrel.
We mentioned that, didn't we, at the half-time break, about Donnybrook's a lack of awareness at times, if you like, to cover that man. I was just trying to get an updated score from Busselton, but Denham King, look, as you said, he had far too much space.
The handball to him was horrible, but he was, and then when he got away from that player, he just had a paddock who was able to turn back around, balance up, and just say, here, goal umpire, you can have this. So back in the middle of the ground, 48 plays 30. Up they go. Durnham, beautiful knock. Creasy's going to run onto this. He's just waltzes through the middle of the ground, onto the left boot. Again, that floats. Out there comes McKenna Taylor. Takes about, just about. He should have took a dive then. He would have got the 50. He swings that back into centre half forward. Good ball from Coates. Who's going to run onto the loose ball? It looks like Lukey Dale. He just slaps that onto the boot, up and under. It's all Bulldogs out there. Falco goes back with courage. He can't take the mark. He's got some help from Lucy. He's got Kendall. He comes back inside, beats the tackle. He goes wider there to Fraser. He's got nothing forward to kick to. Now he's forced to kick down the line, out towards that scoreboard flank. And Jamin King, did it go out in a full? Because he's dropped what he should have. I think it went out on the full.
They need to find something here. The Dons are under a fair bit of pressure.
I don't know where their players were. He knew he had nothing forward, did young Fraser, so he couldn't kick. But in the end, he was forced to kick under pressure. And I think it's the umpire's conferring, but I'm pretty sure it went out on the full, even though we're only about 280 metres away. And we're right. So it was Kerwin, I think, brings the ball back in towards Bericlough. He's got Bilsich running through the middle of the ground. Oh, out this side is Perks. He's got a paddock if it sits for him. It doesn't. Now it does. Bounces up. Now bounces twice. Persic is in pursuit. Perks kicks it down the line towards right. He's led to the footy this time. Oh, bounces one way or the other, picked up there by Oliver. He just checks inside towards Connor Walker, and on a second grab, he's taken a mark on the attacking 50. He's called to play on. Just chips inside, and too easy was Harry Creasy, 45 metres out, directly in front, and again, loose checking inside.
Starting to cut them to pieces now, the Bulldogs run, and we think Jesse Gribble may just have a bit of a hamstring strain, or a calf, But they're not letting too much on. We just sent a reporter down to the bench. They're not giving us too much down there.
Oh, well, we'll see next week whether they line up or not. Anyway, Creasy comes in. He's going to kick from about 45 metres out, directly in front. That's a horrible kick, but it's going to float all the way.
There you go.
You couldn't kick it any worse if you tried, but it went gun barrel straight. It floated over hands, and she's gone through for a major. And Bunbury go to 8-6-54. They're getting away from Donnybrook 4-6-30 to a handy 24-point lead. And we see Dunsborough leading the Bulls by, 11 points.
That's around the ground. Thanks to Geograph Civil. Yeah, this one's starting to sneak away from the Dons very, very quickly. They've forgotten to come out after half-time, but they're just finding way too much space. We've seen last week, didn't we, how South closed up the Bulldogs' run.
Yeah.
And Donnybrook haven't been able to do that.
They haven't touched the ball in the centre bounce downs in the 4 that we've had. So there's your first problem. If you can't get that right, then
the
you're in all
stoppage
sorts.
work needs to improve.
Just got to go one-on-one. Up they go in the middle of the ground. Lucy Durnham tries to go down. He does. He finds Berraclough. He just waltzes through the middle. He just puts that in front of Jamie King.
There's a kick
He's
there
just
too,
propped
Creasy,
underneath. And it was Creasy, was it? No, it's McKenna.
No.
Yeah, it was Creasy's kick. I think the umpire's paid the free kick. Oh, no, Taylor's going to claim the mark, and the umpire's going to say, oh, either way,
Either way.
shot. He's the man on the mark's about 35 metres out. He's directly in front. If he slits this through, you would say
they're on fire thanks to half hours of the Bulldogs.
I don't think there's no coming back if he puts this through, Craney. They're under all sorts of pressure in the middle of the ground.
First thing you do is get hold of the footy.
Yeah, and they haven't been able to do that. He just pokes at that, but she's gone to the right. That would have been very handy. So 8-7-55 lead.
Little bit of a let off.
6:30 on the Southwest Isuzu scoreboard.
Little bit of a let off there too.
Yeah. It's just coming out the last 3. They've literally walked out of the middle of the ground, and there's been no pressure, and the kick's been able to hit. The kicker's had plenty of time to weigh up his options and hit the right target. Lukey Dale comes out this side. It's floating back to the middle of the ground. Who's underneath it? It's all. The Bulldogs missed that one there through Durnham. Through there was a player there in Hare. He handballs one way or the other. Falco, he misses Lucy. Now running off the back end was Bolton. He can't take it. Picked up there by the Bunbury player, and it's all wrapped up. Can't see who it was, but gone inside. Giblet this time. He beats the tackle. He's not careful. He's going to get run down behind. He squeezes out towards Lucy.
Just while he grabbed that.
Hi, Lucy. But a loose handball. He didn't have to do that. Now they're under all sorts of pressure on that far side.
Donnybrook are putting themselves under pressure by them.
They are. Niski picks up a loose ball. He drives it in, but this time Lukey Dale's going to take a relieving mark. He's going to switch the play. Comes out this way towards Hutton, is it? But he's outnumbered. Good spoil. He had to try something. Parsons picked up a ball. He handballs out towards Oliver. He comes back inside, turns, comes back 30 metres towards Perks by hand. He can have a bit of look. He's run down by Hutton. He's forced to kick up and under, and Donnybrook got a wall of numbers down there, and there's a player there, is it Coates, taking a relieving mark. It's Falco. He switches out wide towards Giblet. They're trying to get something happening here, but they haven't got much forward of the play. He just goes long. Out the back here is Trent Brown. He's going to take this uncontested, is he? It doesn't, but Deering off the ground. He soccers inside the 50. On. Now he's put the afterburners on. He's going to win the race back. He just can't take the ball below his knees. Brown goes in. The Bulldogs player pushes back towards Kerwin. He can't take it. Brown, he's good effort. He's gone one way or the other. He handballs to himself in the end.
He's got
Lucy inside, but he's missed his target by a mile, and Bilsich is marked uncontested.
And
now
here
he switches.
They go.
He comes out wide towards Hamish Hall. He's got a paddock towards Creasy. Creasy takes a good mark in front of Hutton, who can't affect the spoil. He's got numbers running inside, as we said before, Craney. The player there in Gilchrist can't take the mark. He handballs wider towards Denham King. He comes 60 metres from goal. He's got a player in right, all on his own, and he's bobbled the mark. He's relieved out there from Bolton for Donnybrook. He's horrible kick. They've kicked to 5-on-1. Now Hall, he's got a loose player inside in Harry Creasy. Once again, he's owned that little spot at centre half forward. He takes a mark in front of Falco, 65 from goal. He's called to play on now. He goes one way or the other. Here's a left footer. Falco corrals him, forces Creasy just to pop it into the hole. Who's going to win the race to the footy? Heisman, one way or the other. And guess what, Craney? He check sides that back over his shoulder, straight through the middle of the goals. And I would say that's the game right there. 9-7-61, leads 4-6-30. And they've just come out at half-time and taken this game right away from Donnybrook.
That's a definite contender for the Western All Pest Services mark of the day. You don't leave Dylan Heisman on like that. There's just way too much space for the Bunbury Bulldogs to work in, and they're not under the pressure that they need to be under, so their skill level is working in their favour. Just need to tighten up all around the ground or find an answer at the moment. They just are a bit shell-shocked, the Dons, after half-time.
The desperation in the defensive area hasn't been enough, and when it's been there, it's been more or less running into himself. They've had the numbers and mucked it up by running into each other and creating their own space. So they've got to get the balance right, and at the moment, while they're trying to find it, the game's slipping away from them. So 61 plays 30, back in the middle of the ground we go. Ruckman up, Gregory, he wins the knockdown. This time Walker goes through. Hamish Hall's leg, play on's a call. Number of players all over it in the middle of the ground.
The number of times they've hit on the fly, it's very hard to do hit on the fly, and that means there's not another body coming at you.
Well, the opposition have got to meet them at the T-bone and come the other way, but they're not doing it. They're flat-footed. Now this time what can happen? Hare can't take it. Howlett tries to fend off. He handballs to Hare. He's going to switch that ball right out the far side. Pushed out there is Ben Fraser. He leads the foot race over Bilsich. The ball, will it sit for him? It won't. It paddles in front of him.
Oh.
It's going to... It just
Two young players going head-to-head.
And Maxi Bilsich pushes him off the line. The ball picks it up and pops it inside. And Adal, he was at half-back then, so maybe they've made that move. It could be too late. So he's marked at high half-back. What's he going to do on that far
side? Queensland, Bunbury.
So he's called to play on. Beautiful kick towards centre forward. The player there in Potter is interfered with by his opponent in Kerwin.
Quicker around the ground thanks to Geograph Civil. Dunsborough 8-4-52 lead the Harvey Bulls 5-5-35. And Bustleton 14-9 lead AMR 10-9. So a 4-goal buffer.
So Howlett picks up a loose ball at centre half forward, but his kick has just floated into the arms of young Parsons, standing about 40 metres from his defensive goal. He's not sure what to do. There's players running everywhere. He's now called to play on. He just pokes this over the top towards Jamin King. He marks about 45 from defensive goal, still in defensive 50. He's called to play on now. He's got Durnham down the line. He squeezed that kick towards him. He slipped over. Giblets overruns the footy now. Connor Walker's going to run onto a ball about 20 metres clear. He can do what he wants, so he has a bounce. Kendall's tried to run him down. He just goes down the line, but Bolton drops in and takes a defensive mark in front of the play coming towards him. He just chips in the middle of the ground. Good kick into Hare. He's got a loose over the top in Brown if he wants to use him. He's got a looser out wide there in Falco. There's a bit happening behind the player. Someone's gone down. There's players running from everywhere, and there's a little... I won't mention any names, but she's on. She's on, Croney. There's an old-fashioned how do you do out here. The play's going on the far side. Bunbury through Taylor are going to run on a loose. Well, I'll tell you what, she's a fair old Donnybrook in front of us, Croney. If you're watching at home, I'm not sure.
The footy is getting on.
And she's rolling into a Bunbury goal square. It's rolled, and she's a goal from Bunbury. And I'll tell you what, there was, if you'd be trialled by video, there'd be a few boys going on Tuesday night. I didn't care about the footy. I was watching a few haymakers thrown in.
Not even quite sure who kicked the goal on the other side.
I think it was McKenna Taylor, because the last player I've seen with the footy, and they still want to go on with it, do they? I'll tell you what. I'd just be leaving it if I was the Bunbury blokes, because you kick the goal, you're in front on the scoreboard. And I think there's a bit more to play out in this, Croney. I think there's going to be a bit of a blue. They're not going to let it go.
I think, but the big thing for Bunbury is they've kicked away on the scoreboard big time.
10-7-67 leads 4-6-30 on the Southwest Isuzu scoreboard, and we'll keep an eye on...
the Harvey Norman interchange bench. I don't think anyone got carded or anything.
No, there wasn't.
There's a few deceivable jumpers around the place.
Yep, Bunbury have been warned for the 6-6-6. There's a fair bit going on. I won't say what happened, but I did see it. Anyway, play on's the call. Back in the middle of the ground, up they go. Parsons, he taps down. Howlett can't take it. Now picked up there by Oliver. He just whacks that onto his boot. Goes far and wide, right, leading the race to the footy, but I reckon that's going to beat everyone out of bounds. I wish all them water boys and all that would get off the ground. The umpire should get them all out of there, because as soon as the push comes to shove, I can guarantee they're going to walk over there and be involved in it.
Maybe this time, I know they shifted Giblet in the middle of the game against South.
Yeah, they've got to do something.
Get a bit of muscle in there.
Yep. They probably don't need him down back because they've got the matchups where
you're
they
6
need
goals behind anyway, so
you've got to try something. So in they go. A player there in, not sure who it was with the green boots, but Bericloff's picked up the loose ball. He's one way or the other. Now he's kick smothered, but he's good enough to get back onto the footy. Young Fraser can't take it. Bill Stitch has taken it. He's run down by Potter. Play on's a call. Kendall, good handball forward towards Howlett. He just chips inside to Kai Lucy. Still inside the centre on that far wing.
He has to wait till they get
there's nothing there. That's what I said.
People back.
They're pushing back, but they're not effect. Now it's 50 metres. I don't know what happened there.
Not even sure what happened there, but
anyway.
Gee, I tell you what, Donnybrook need this one to say the least, Donny.
That would be the very least you could say. I'm still watching some of these blokes
probably
on
the first time
sideline.
they've been into their forward 50 for quite some time, Donnybrook.
Yep, for a very long time.
The crowd very invested in this.
Well, I'm just watching down here because I see a few blokes are still animated, and there's still a bit of push and shove behind the play, but it's just not worth it. It's the game's. You should have probably showed that aggression at the start of the quarter, and the scoreboard might be a bit different. Anyway, Lucy goes back straight over the goal umpire's head to say it's much needed. 5-6-36, trail 10-7-67 on the Southwest Isuzu scoreboard. And, can they rally that and turn it into 2 or 3 quick ones?
Let's hope so. Thanks to MGIB, like a good neighbour, MGIB. Yeah, they need to answer the challenge a little bit, because it's been all Bunbury in this quarter, and they've done it with relative ease, which has been very uncharacteristic of the Donnybrook side. They pride themselves on their pressure on the footy, and They need to answer that. So let's see if they can work their way back into this contest.
They've just got to get hands on ball in the middle of the ground. They've just
start to win one of these contests would be handy.
Even halve a few and get some feeling back in there and just let Bunbury know you're not going to take it out at will. And every time you go near it, we're going to run, we're going to be right there and bring you to ground, or we're going to share the footy with you. So they're still going on behind the play. It's
yeah, they're not liking each other at the moment, are they?
Just can't say it, but you might as well just do it properly if you're going to do it. Anyway, up they go in the middle of the ground. Parsons and Gregory. Gregory wins a knock. Barraclough.
At least Hallett was onto there. They've got it on the fly a couple of times, Bunbury.
Yeah.
Barraclough almost away then as well.
Maybe change the matchups in there. So Ruckman back underneath it. Gregory's going to win this knock. It goes towards Howlett. He's wrapped up. So a number of players all around it. And that's not a bad thing. Just a couple of stoppages just negate all sorts of movement and just force ball up after ball up and try and get the ball back on your turn. So
we'll try and get 2 in a row.
Gregory's just done the old rugby, trying to remove the scrum.
He's going the wrong way to make
yards.
Yeah,
he was. He's lost 5 metres, but he maintained the footy. So in the middle of the ground, a few bodies going everywhere. Play on's a call now. Falco, he's ridden into the ground. Play on's a call. The umpire says, give it here, and we'll start again. So 10-7-67 leads 5-6-36 on the Southwest Isuzu scoreboard. Bunbury had made all post the winner at the start of the third quarter. And they're looking quite good at the moment. Parsons, he goes back towards the player there in Oliver. He can't take it. He's brought to ground. Now he's in all sorts of trouble. He's wrapped up by a number of Donnybrook players. The umpire says play on. Creasy squeezes a handball out. Parsons, he doesn't want to pick up the footy. Now he's surrounded. Barraclough just goes in. He tries to pick up the footy. A number of players around it again, right in the dust bowl, middle of the ground. And the umpire said, give it here and we'll throw it up and start again.
Thanks to City and Regional Fuels this afternoon too. We're looking at a peak performance. And at the moment it is all the Bulldogs with their peak performance.
It certainly is. In the middle of the ground, Parsons, a good knock. The umpire off the field has called, off players called a hold.
I think they got sick of throwing that up. So
it's probably a good call. If you're a Donnybrook supporter, you'd be happy. If you're Bunbury, you'd be saying, what was that for? So Jacob Kendall just goes up and under out there towards Lucy.
I don't know whether that was percentage
that wasn't the best kick in the world. But anyway, young Fraser, can he pick it up? Lucy goes himself. Fraser's recipient of the free kick for the high tackle as he went to the ground. Bit lucky, but a couple of blokes here in the middle of the ground that aren't moving very well at all. So Bolton gives them some run and half back, but then he stops. So you just really need to put the ears back then and gain another 5 metres and whack it on. Now he's sold himself into all sorts of trouble. He's forced to go one way and the other. Kicks to the scoreboard pocket. Deering comes out. He can't take it. He's overrun it. Perks is going to the footy. Potter does very well. Oliver goes in and the ball's gone out of bounds in that forward pocket between the goal square and the scoreboard.
This is where they need to work out and either put their zone into place or go man on man just to stop that easy out that Bunbury have been able to do.
Well, their zone hasn't worked at all pretty much all day.
There's been a few holes in it.
Yeah, very. It's like a sieve. It's leaking. So up they go. Durnham wins a knock over the top. We're going boundary side again. Picked up there by Bellini. He check sides back inside. Well done there by Barraclough. He's had a good afternoon.
He's had a very good afternoon.
He handballs wide towards a play there in Hall. That was a horrible attempted handball, but he's gone forward. Picked up out there by Oliver. He's beaten. He's well tackled. Onto the boot it went. I think it was wasn't Bilsich. The Bunbury player drives it forward. Now Donnybrook comes out through
the
Giblet.
big fella.
He just said, get out of my way. He picks it up. He gets yards down that far wing. His helicopter kick goes inside. Falco can't take the mark. Barraclough, that was
second man.
That was off. Falco was going back for the second grab, and Barraclough just plucked it out of the air, and the umpire's paid him the mark. So anyway, play on's a call now. What's he going to do? He's going to try and beat the tackle, and he's not good enough to. He made a bit of dog's breakfast of that. Well done there by Potter. Good handball inside to Howlett. He's got all sorts. He chips inside. There is a player in Falco, is it? He goes off one step. Had a bit more time to the right-hand side. They much need. It was young Fraser, Ben Fraser there.
Probably clever little kick by Howlett.
It was a clever kick.
Split the needle and thread the needle.
Probably, again, they needed to make the most of that. Kerwin, he just drives that out there to Stanhouse.
This is where the easy out comes again.
Too easy. And he's got a loose down the wing. Oh, over the top. Here comes Adam. Well, Craney.
I thought that was going to be the mark of the day.
The high tackle. That had to be a comedy errors out there. You can only laugh. You can only laugh. Anyway, Falco goes in. He's picked up. He's slung as he's paid a throw. Well, 1, 2, 3. So your players don't make 3 mistakes in a row. But anyway.
That mark should have been paid. It's an interesting one to say the least.
He went to flick it back over his head to go back and take his kick, and the umpire called play on. Anyway, Durnham's too tall out there for Gregory. He's thrown into the ground. He's taken a mark. Probably could have been 50 there, but play on is the call. On the wing, he
there. Oh,
there is.
Look at this man on his
mile
own.
out on his own there. Is it Gilchrist? I'm not sure who it is. He's a mile away from us. Anyway, he's handballed inside to Oliver. He just turns around, pops it over the top, kicks it to the goal umpire, and squeezes it to the left. And she's gone through for a behind. 10-8-68, plays 5-7-37 on Southwest Isuzu scoreboard.
Thanks to the Hollow Beach Bar and Grill, he had an absolute paddock out there by himself.
He certainly did. Anyway, Donnybrook just making it real hard to try and get himself any momentum to get back into this game. So deep in the back pocket, player there in young Bedford. His kick goes down the line. Horrible handball over the top to Hutton. He's surrounded by Bunbury players. He's pushed in the back or without the footy, whatever you want to call it.
There was very a 4-on-1.
Very, very lucky indeed, because if that had rolled out...
Harvey Norman interchange bench, still getting a bit of a workout down here. Walker waiting to come back on.
Hutton goes right back towards Giblet. He's got a paddock if he wants it. Heisman closes him down. His kick goes down the line there to Howler Desert. He takes a good mark in front of Denham King. He's got a runner outside. He elects not to use him. He had Hare inside. He's going to use Falco on this far wing in front of us. He takes an uncontested mark. He needs to keep the ball moving. Pokes that over the top. Oh, out the back there was Fraser. Drops what he should have taken in the end. He's got numbers all around him. Quick handball towards Hare. He pops it in towards Deering. He goes up. Good spoil from behind from Jamin King. But Dero's going to win the race back to the footy, is he? He goes one way. Tries to keep it in play. She rolls out of bounds in front of him. And... deep into attack for the Dons. Can they manufacture
Bunbury defence have done very well on young Cooper Clark Deering this afternoon. Having said that, the delivery into the forward line hasn't made his job very easy at all.
The kick just hung too long in the air. If it was a lower kick, he was right. The kick was to the right spot, but it just had too much hang time and give King too much of a look to close it down. So boundary throwing in front of the scoreboard. Durnham's going to take this out of the air. He's just, that was a throw. I can see that from here.
That was a nice
and
little
Hutchie
pass.
Said, I seen that too. Yeah, can't... I hope he has paid it because he's going to make a fool of us. But that was a throw of that. He thought he was playing basketball then.
It was quick. It was quick hands, Johnny.
Did he pay it or what? Oh, no one's going for a kick. No, he's going to ball it up. Well, I have to have a word to you, Hutchie, afterwards. So, right on the 50-metre arc in front of the scoreboard. Ruckman hold each other. No one's able to get it. Lucy off, Adow off the pack he goes, and it's just touched towards a juggled mark. Well, it was was it Gilchrist? Liam Renton it is. So now he plays on. He's got a loose in Kerwin. He handballs over the top. He's 30 metres from his defensive goal. He just pops over the top towards Bilsich. He can run his 20 if he wants to. He goes one way or the other. He wants to come back inside. There's not a lot on offer. So he goes up and under down this swing. Now it's all Donnybrook. Coates is going to win the footy. Oh, it gets past him, but he's lucky he's got Hutton behind him. He keeps it in play. He just whacks it on the boot. Number of players here. Creasy comes from behind. A good mark there, and the umpires pay the...
Just around the grounds, Johnny, thanks to Geograph Civil. It is all over in Busselton. 14 goals, 10-94. Busselton have defeated AMR. 11 goals, 9-75. Big win by the Magpies.
Yep, left their run a bit too late, and unfortunately, Margaret River will ruined that one because that's probably give up
what makes it worse.
For third spot.
Changed my tip on that one. I had Busselton.
Home ground advantage, Crony.
Yeah, I thought they were...
That was the Busselton Toyota Cup today, I believe, too, so the boss's sponsorship on the line.
Oh, right, there you go.
So boundary throw in. Durnham just fists that forward. It's going to beat all players, is it? Oliver, he tracks it to the boundary line. He's taken over the line. He squeezes the kick. Persic is intercepted. The umpire's called play on. Well, that went 30 metres. It was a clear mark. Play on's a call. He handballs towards there. He slips over. He's beaten everyone. Goes by hand back to Persic. He goes around. Creasy strips him to the footy. That's dropping the ball. He's just playing with that little bit of lack of confidence, and you can understand that to come back from a broken jaw, but
yeah, first game
he doesn't want to really get involved in push and shove because if the hand goes in the wrong spot, he'd be back to square one. But anyway, Creasy
just watching, drifted into spot there. Everyone was too worried about what the push and shove was about.
Yep.
Travis Durnham just wandered into the vacant spot, and he'll have a shot for goal from about 45 out.
Yep.
Quick around the grounds from the Harvey Bulls, thanks to Geograph Civil. 7-5, Harvey Bulls 47, Trail Dunsborough 8-9, 57.
So Durnham comes in directly in front. He's going to kick from about 48 metres out. Nice kick off the boot, Croney. It's just to the right. It's held its line.
Wasn't a bad basketball leg, was it?
Yeah, that was a good kick. I watched him the other week. He was a good kick over about 30, but that went over the fence in the end. It was quite a good kick.
Looking for a best on ground thanks to WA Carpet Supermarket.
So Dale, he comes out of defence. He goes to that far wing. Adow's got the size and the strength over young Stenhouse. He takes the mark. What's he going to do? He's going to drive long down to that half-forward flank. That's a good kick out there to Bo Lucy. He takes the mark. Then he plays on. He's got Potter. He's got front position. Over the back it goes. young Brown. He's toe pokes off the ground. Can he run on a loose ball? He does. He slips a tackle. He's deep into the pocket. Should have went himself. He was going to. It was a bit unlucky there. The player slipped and he slipped into a high tackle, but the umpire said, no, I'm going to ball it up. So it's about 25.
He's going to give him the high tackle.
Yeah, it was unlucky. Or lucky for him, but unlucky for the Bunbury player because young Gerard, he actually slipped and the Bunbury player was committed to the ball. But
stranger things, if he puts this through the young man,
they're not out of it. But in general play, they are.
In general play, that's exactly right.
There's just
ever the optimist I am, Johnny.
Yeah, their spark is gone. They haven't come out. The flicker didn't flicker at all. Right on three-quarter time.
This makes it even more important.
Maybe the spark might reignite in that huddle at three-quarter time. So. In he comes, young Gerard. What can he do? He's only kicking from about 25 metres out on a sharp angle. I'll tell you, not a bad kick. Oh, just poked to the left, as the goal umpire said. So 10-9-69 leads 5-8-38 on the Southwest Isuzu scoreboard as we go into the three-quarter time break.
Well, Donnybrook have it all before them. Bunbury threw down the challenge in that quarter and they had a magnificent third quarter. Can the Dons come back? We'll find out after the break. A big quarter by the Bulldogs has them with a handy lead. 10 goals, 9-69. They lead Donnybrook 5 goals, 8-38. Found way too much space for the Donnybrooks liking. The Bunbury Bulldogs, that is. They had open players everywhere. They won around the stoppages and they rattled on goals pretty much at will. Donnybrook had a couple of chances. They had one right on the siren to get back. Still, 5 goals, not a lot in modern day footy, Johnny, but they'd have to improve dramatically in this final term.
Yeah, on what we've seen that last 25 minutes, it would be impossible. But as you said, if they come out with the opposite mindset that they started that quarter with, well, then they're likely to kick the 5 goals that they need. But they've got to change a hell of a lot. They just they went missing for 15 minutes, and Bunbury took full advantage of it. And then they really struggled to get momentum back into the quarter. But Bunbury just kept going. As you said, we said it, whatever side come out and try to break the line, expose the other side, which Bunbury done, and it's just the ease that it come out of the middle of the ground. You would have thought that after you do one, after two, you'd put the clamps right on. They didn't, and they've paid the price now because the game got right away from them. And we'll just see what sort of response we get in the last 20 minutes.
Quick around the ground, thanks to Geograph Civil. It is all over up at Busselton. Busselton ran out winners 14 goals, 10-94. They defeated AMR 11 goals, 9-75. And Dunsborough have a slight 10-point lead over the Harvey Bulls as the siren goes to start the final quarter. This is SEN Spirit, and this is John Bajetta.
Ruckman at it. Durnham wins a tap out towards Creasy. He runs onto the left boot.
Once again.
Forward. Yeah, as we said, picked up there by the player in Gilchrist. He's tackled to the ground. Well done there by Lucy. He gets it towards Hare. Hare gets that ball out wide towards Trent Brown. Well done there by Perks. He cuts it off. He dashes through down that wing, up and under towards Taylor. He
Perks
just
is putting his hand up for our
he's played
best
very
defender.
Well. Yeah, no, he's played very well. Taylor took a good mark. He whacks that inside 50. Giblet comes over the top of right. Coates handballs over top, back to Giblet, put him under all sorts of pressure. He's dropped that. The umpire was going to pay it. We thought, he made an effort. Well done there by Persic.
He done that very well. Nice.
I said he's just been a little bit off, but he backed into oncoming traffic there, not knowing.
He'll be better for the
he definitely will
run
be
this afternoon.
He's too good a player not to be. He goes inside towards Benny Howlett. He's got guys running either side. Now he's called to play on. Squeeze that ball to 35 metres out. Good kick.
That's
and
a beautiful
good
delivery. And that's what we've been looking for Donnybrook all day.
Yeah,
that was the first real deliberate lead kick into full forward.
Young Gerard, he's actually done some good things, this kid. I don't know how old he is, or he doesn't appear to be very old at all.
Let's put him in for the Hemp Brothers Rising Star anyway.
He would definitely be of that age. But early in the first quarter, he got a bit of ball up around the wing. I thought, he moves all right, this kid. And he's had a crack all day.
This will test him because he'll kick right on the 50-metre line.
It'll take all of his young legs to get it over the line. But anyway, he's got a good approach, and he comes right on the paint. He just leans back. I tell you what, Crane,
giving it a fair
he knows
root.
exactly what he's doing, and it's exactly what Donnybrook needed to start the quarter. Will that give him a bit of a boost? He's put that over the goal umpire's head. They go to 6-8. I won't do the math. I think it's 38, is it? No, 42.
I'm going to give him a nomination for the Western All Pest Services goal of the day because he kicked that from right on that 50-metre line. It went through half. 9 Bunbury to 6-8, whatever
40,
that is.
44 trail Bunbury 10-9-69 on the Southwest Isuzu scoreboard. So there's a little flicker there. 20.
Have you seen the big new scoreboard at hands, Donny?
Yeah, we might get a bit of airtime on that crony. Hey, what do you reckon?
It's going to be interesting, isn't that?
We're lucky.
So that's what Donnybrook needed. Look, I mean, that was well worked. It was great delivery in from Benny Howlett and our forwards. It was a fair dinkum lead and a kick to advantage, and that's probably the best goal they've kicked today.
Let's hope for the game's sake they can get another one straight away. Up they go. Lucy, he good knock. He's down. Who's going to run on it? Howlett was in the line of the footy. Now, in there is Falco, I think it is. He's slammed, and he's going to get pinged for dropping the ball. Anyway. Yep. Some nice words of encouragement.
Plenty of encouragement.
Yeah, so Durnham's receiving the free kick in the middle of the ground. Now he's called to play on. He just kicks that up and under. It's going to get inside the 50-metre.
Sit under that.
Out there. Good effort there
that's
from Gilchrist.
A great grab.
He run at that with purpose, but Crane. You can see him hovering, and all of a sudden he said, right, this is mine, and he made it his, so he's going to, can he equal the...
I'm putting that down for a Western CPR Outdoor Centre Mark of the Day contender. He took a nice fly.
There was a good mark, yep, and this will have to be the equal the kick we just seen a minute ago from young Gerard. So he'll kick from about 53 metres out. Deliberate approach on goal. Slide angle. He wheels around onto that right to try and pinch a yard, but that's where the kick went. A mongrel punt that missed the goal by about 25 metres, out of bounds on full. Almost hit the scoreboard, it was that wide.
Yeah, no, that bloke in the maroon ute down there just about took a good grab.
He just about put it in his car and drove off, I think. But the old saying, the ball will always go where you run to, and that's exactly what he run out in that arc.
I think he knew he was a couple of metres short on the length of his kick, and he just tried to get that extra little bit of oomph.
He was chasing about 20 metres, I think.
Anyway, I think you're right.
Young Puddale's going to bring the ball back into play in that scoreboard pocket. What's he going to do? He has to go down the line because there's not much on offer. And he does. He drives that ball out of defence, up and under. Bunbury had the target there. Oh, good handball taken from the Donnybrook player. Can't see who it is. Potts goes to ground. Picked up there by young Hare. He tries to fend off. You're in trouble, son. Ooh. And he is, yeah. Once you try and fend off, you got to get through. Well, there's a bit of what to do. And the free kick's been reversed on Creasy. He was throwing your hands in the air. He obviously done something. So now the Bunbury player goes to ground. He drags it back in his Steenhouse. He should be pinged for dropping the ball if you've done the other one. The handball goes out to Deering. He's about 70 metres out. Just slaps it on the boot. Which way is it going to roll? It rolled through for a behind. He would have been better if it went out of bounds.
Do you know that's a handy behind there, Johnny? Because
it draws them level. So they're in 4 goals on the Southwest Isuzu scoreboard. They come out wide. Bilsich brings it out towards Berraclough. He would be Bunbury's best player today. He drives down the line.
Tell you what these players need to do heading into finals is discipline's going to be the key.
Yeah.
Just can't afford to turn the footy over or 50-metre penalties.
So King comes out towards where Gilchrist pushes the Coates, and that should be 50 metres if you're going to pay some silly ones that we've seen. And now it is.
Yeah.
And that actually throw from Durnham went back to the player. It was a throw before that it should have been 50 metres for. Anyway, it's going to bring Coates to about 30 metres out from goal, I reckon.
Range.
If Cam gets his bearings on where he was to where he's going to take him. He's probably 10 metres short. But anyway, it's an opportunity here because young Coates is quite a good kicker of the footy. So see if he's an accurate kick.
This will breathe a little bit of life back into this game, I would think.
Like I said, on general play, you would think they were flat and they couldn't come back. But all of a sudden, you put a couple of scores on the board and it breathes a bit of hope. In he comes, deliberate approach on the left boot. Not a bad kick, but it's... what did it do, Croney? What did it do?
That's got through, Johnny. That is a goal from Archer Coates.
I wouldn't argue it either way because I wasn't sure where that kick went over the post or not. But it much needed, to say the least, again, as Donnybrook. So, as you see, there's a little pep in the step out there. And a few of the Bunbury boys just looking at each other. There's still 3 goals, 18 points on the Southwest Isuzu scoreboard difference. And you'd rather be in front than chasing. So can Bunbury answer the challenge, or can Donnybrook really apply the screws and get the next goal and say, okay?
Well, they've sort of got a little bit around these stoppages, thanks to MGIB, like a good neighbour. But, it'd be nice if they... For the sake of the game and the big crowd here, if they could sneak another one, Donnybrook, that would get the crowd up and about.
So back in the middle of the ground, 18 points to Bunbury's advantage. And Hutchie, what's he done? There's numbers 666 of some blokes are a bit lost. So they're 1-1 now, so next one's a free kick. Anyway, I don't know how you can be in the middle and in the back pocket.
I think it should be a kick anyway. That's the rules.
That's right. Every other rule, if you break it, you're penalised. So
you don't get a push in the back and go,
he's made a mistake. Bolton picks it up. He gives it to Hare. He drives that ball to half forward. Out comes Kendall. He takes a good mark in front of... that was a good boot in the head to... It was an unfortunate, unlucky one, but out comes, a young player who kicked the last goal in Gerard. He couldn't take the mark. It was a good effort. In there goes the Donnybrook player in Brown. He goes one way or the other. Check sides.
Gee,
and I tell you what,
mind.
Craney, we've got a game here at PC Payne Park.
That was young Fraser.
Ben Fraser it was. He just picked that up like a little rat going through a drain pipe. He kept his head low. He knew exactly what he was doing. He check side that around. He was running one way, on the right boot, inside out. Call it what you want. But the goal umpire didn't move because he went straight over the top of his head.
That's going to be a
and
nomination
now
for
we've got a game. 10-9-69 leads 8-9, whatever it is, 57. So 12 points on the Southwest Isuzu scoreboard.
That's a nomination definitely for the Western All Pet Services goal of the day. And Donnybrook right back in this contest. As you said, Johnny, just a little bit of a pep in the step.
It's all about centre clearances.
Gee, old Fraser did that well, didn't he? He didn't have a lot of room to move then. And he just, I think you're like a rat in a drain pipe. You described it nicely.
Back in the middle of the ground, Lucy goes up. He wins the knockdown. He's almost ill. That was a throw forward. Umpire says play on. Now Bunbury into attack. What can they do? Dale couldn't take it. He's back in there. Wraps up Bunbury playing Gilchrist. He's going nowhere. And now there's a bit more endeavour in the Donnybrook step there in the back line. They were not going to let that loose. So, as I was saying, young Fraser, a good forward who knows his craft. He didn't panic, but he knew where the goals were. So, that was a kick out from defence from Donnybrook. Well done there by Kendall. He couldn't take what he may have. Oh, great pick up by the man of the moment. Fraser, he's going to get done for dropping the ball this time. But I'll tell you what.
The drain pipe closed off there a bit, Johnny.
Yeah, someone put the cap back on. And Maxi Bilsich was the man. So he's taken a relieving kick for the Bulldogs at halfback. Now he's called to play on. He's going to come down this wing, just up and under. Everyone's around it. The ruckman at the back. Durham comes from 5 deep. He can't take the mark. He just throws it over his shoulder towards King. Oh, coach goes in. He's he went in. That's what you call unlucky to young King then, because King was going for the ball and Coates comes through and collected himself high more than he. So out the back there, well done by Potter. He's run onto the loose ball. Can he keep it in play? Yes, he can. Onto the right boot. Oh, well, good smother there from Bellini, but picked up by Donnybrook. Back towards Potter. He's a long handball over towards Gerard. He waits, the sun in his eyes. Handball back inside towards Potter, and he's
run through the point.
He just
run out of ground.
He run out of ground. He needed a half a step to get inside the post.
Run out of real estate.
But they're coming in a big way at Donnybrook. We're back to an 11-point ball game on the Southwest Isuzu scoreboard. So Bunbury under all sorts. Can they stand the rush that's coming at him? Kerwin, he chips in towards Heisman. He's gone a long way up to get a kick. He drives the ball towards Berraclough. He's gone one hand. Wasn't sure what was behind him. Picked up by Kupininsky. He brings the ball back inside. Crunch goes Connor Walker, and he's rewarded for his effort to stand under the footy. And he was worn down there by young Lukey Dale. And the umpire's rewarding for standing his ground. So he takes a relieving kick at half back. He's got a runner outside. It's Heisman. He just whacks it onto the boot over the top there to Denham
Brown
King.
got a nice little corky there for Donnybrook.
Yeah, that would have hurt. So he comes inside towards Kerwin. He's come up towards the wing. So Donnybrook had just been able to stop him from the run. So, this is a dangerous kick. He comes right across the ground towards the player there in Liam Renton. Again, Bunbury have been forced to go back and take their kicks, which has helped Donnybrook stem the flow. Out the back, Coates. He drops what he should have taken. Bolton takes a handball, gives it to Giblett. He's got a loose. He's got two loose. Well done there by Young Hare. Takes a mark in front of us on this wing. He calls his teammate to come at me. Up there goes Deering. He's going to take an uncontested mark in front of Renton. He pops over the top towards Kendall. Will the ball sit for him? It does. It sits beautifully. Squeezes that down the line towards young Gerard, but the relay free kick. There wasn't much in that, but I tell you what, the tide is turning, as they say. Young Gerard whacks that deep into attack. Oh, Potter, well done. Almost the hold there. There was a hold off the play. The umpire was right there, so it was obviously...
the umpires have done pretty well today.
The player, the Bunbury, it was young Bilsich. It was off the play, so obviously...
although
he was
half the crowd don't agree.
Yeah, only half agree. The black and gold ones agree and the blue and white ones don't. Anyway, Kerwin, he just chips down the line. He's got... Heisman, he comes inside to Walker at half-back. He runs through. He delivers down that wing. The kick's got too much on it. Giblett's at the back. He's running onto a loose ball. He just bulldozes his way through as you would. That was coming. You could see he wasn't going to stop, and that was fair enough. Now we've got a player there in Hamish Hall. He's got a paddock. He runs. He could have kept running. There was here we go. Who's got the courage to go? Well done there by Hamish Hutton. He brings that to ground. He's got the legs to chase the footy, and he says, I want this footy more than anyone else. He's got Allen support. Now Ninsky slaps it back. Picked up there by Bearclough, I think it is.
Bunbury
King
got
goes
numbers.
one way. Oh, dropping the ball, son.
Wow, what a tackle by...
I'm watching the kids on the fence over there giving it to... This is country footy at its best, Craney.
Well, Donnybrook could well end up in fourth today if they can win this.
Certainly could. Adow, the relieving kick. He goes long, 55-metre punt down that wing. Bunbury, good mark. It was a great mark down there from Trent Brown. He's flown over the top of Durham. Not an easy thing to do. He's got the ball on a true wing position. He plays on, delivers into centre half forward. Here comes our man Potter. Good spoil from Kerwin. It beats Renton. Now he runs back onto it. Good Shepherd. Walker, he goes one way or the other. Great tackle there. Oh, that was a great tackle, Craney, whoever that was. It's Howlett, is it? He picks
Bunbury
it up.
Mowers
It wasn't
Services.
Howlett, but anyway, it was the kick and a good cut off there from Hamish Hall. He's got a runner outside. Play on's a call. Bunbury player, I think it's Bellini. He comes this way in front of us on the wing. Chips inside to Parsons. He takes a good mark on the wing in front of us. Coach stands the mark. This is the opposite now. There's a whistle. There's a whistle on the other side of the ground. Well, they had the ball anyway, so it didn't matter. If it was that far off the ball, it should be a...
No, it's going to stay where it is.
I know, but if the umpire's like, to my way of thinking, if he's done it that bad, it should be a card because it's way off the play. Anyway, Giblet comes in. Well done there by Gregory. He can't take it. Right, he tries to beat the Giblet tackle. He's slammed into the ground. That had a bear bit in it, I tell you what. And he's got cramp. He's in all sorts of trouble, young Wright. Not only is his head spinning,
Well, he's had a busy afternoon.
He's had a pretty good game. He's taken his opportunities.
Walking a bit strange now.
It was a matter of David and Goliath, and Giblet's twice the size of him, and he said, if I'm going to tackle you, mate, you're going down, and he certainly did. Play on now. He's 60 metres from his goal. He puts it into the 30-metre hotspot. Out comes Bolton. Good mark down there from Gilchrist. The Donnybrook player just misread the line of the ball, and Gilchrist come in behind. And to say this is what Bunbury need would be an understatement because they're under all sorts of pressure, but this would just stem the flow and give them that bit of belief back.
Young Kyle Wright come off through the Harvey Norman interchange bench.
It was a fairly... it was a good tackle.
It's an entertaining game of footy, Johnny.
It's certainly got some legs now, Craney. So can young Gilchrist go back and put this to bed? No, he can't. He just... did he? No, he didn't. Just leant back on that.
He could be up for a draw. That would be interesting.
10-10-70. Plays 8-10, obviously 60, is it? On the Southwest Isuzu scoreboard. So
looking for the tackle of the game, Bunbury Mower Service. There's been plenty of them in this quarter.
58 plays 70. It's a 12.2 goals. The difference. I'm not sure what the time.
Chris out how to kick the ball back in.
This will almost go to
Thanks
centre forward. He's going to go
Industrial
long
Supplies
on that far side out towards the height of Giblet, but he's got the second grab out the back. Play on's the call now. He got the free kick. He was lucky there. Just get the footy, son. Don't get involved in push and shove. You've got to get the score on the board. So he's given the ball. What's he going to do? He needs to go long down that line to a one-on-one if he can, and he does on that far side. Who's out there? Is it Howlett? It was a good mark. It was. It's just
very good mark.
Yes, as you'd expect, got his experience. So good run there from his teammate inside. It goes in towards the Deering. Oh, well done there by Lucy. As he goes one way or the other. He's in a scoring position. Check sides out wide there to Young Hare, I think it is. He probably could have went for home. It would have taken a bit of a kick, but Young Hare's he's a nice kick of the footy from what we've seen.
From out there.
Yeah, he's in that pocket.
With that breeze.
So he's going to kick from about 45 metres out, tied up against the boundary on that far side of PC Payne Park. So kicking into, there's no breeze, but he's kicking into that from that dead pocket. Not a bad looking kick, Craney. It's just, again, she's shallowed left where every ball's gone to today. And
should shift those goals over. We'd have a goal clearing spree.
70 plays 59 on the Southwest Isuzu scoreboard as we tick through the middle part of the second.
Thanks to Garage Stores Southwest. We're looking for the best defender. There's a few people are putting their hand up for that.
Trying to find out how long we've been playing. Unfortunately, there's a wall in between us and the cameraman. So Denham King, he takes a relieving kick, gets Maxi Bilsic just outside his defensive 50. He's looking for someone to give it to.
I reckon there's about 9 minutes to go in the game of footy, Johnny.
All right, so we'll keep an eye on our clock. So over the top it went now. Can the Bunbury player run onto it? He can. He kept it inside. I'm not sure who it was, but now there's going to be a clash. Young Hutton goes in. Well done. She's willing down there. Picked up there by the number of players going left, right and centre, and she's gone out of bounds.
Great crowd out around the Payne Park.
I tell you what, young Hutton hasn't given an inch. He's one of the smaller guys out there, and the harder and heavier it's got, the more he's licked his lips and said, come on, boys, we're going to get involved in this.
Yeah, he didn't pull out of that one. And he had a fair bit coming towards him.
So boundary throw-in just up from the scoreboard, which reads 70-59, Southwest Isuzu scoreboard. Time ticking down, about 8.5 minutes to play. Good knock there from Gregory. It comes down. Who's going to win the race of the ball? Connor Walker. He runs into Heisman. He slips a tackle. He drives that ball to the 30-metre hotspot. Who's underneath it? Durnham's moved out of the way by Giblet. He dropped what he should have taken. Picked up by Berraclough. That's dropping the ball. Good handball back to Durnham. He's going to be wrapped up. Good tackle there. Play on's the call. Well umpired. Persic goes in. He goes one way or the other. He's still over the footy. Well done by Hare. He's stripped of it. Persic now. He just gets a loose handball. It falls into the Bunbury player in Oliver. He hits it. Bounces into the goal square. Who's going to win the race to the footy? The ball is, but someone's touched it. The umpire said touched. I thought it might have hit the base of the goalpost. I'm not sure.
It was a bit of acrobatic work in the goal square there too.
Donnybrook had the numbers, but they were both on the top side, and the ball went to the back side, and then it was all Bunbury because if I think it was Berraclough could have slipped the tackle, he would have toe poked it, and she would have been all over. So Adow, he needs to go long and wide. He's got Kendall breaking on that far side. And can he make the carry to him? Kendall's going to come over the top and take him. Oh, good effort. He gets the ball. He's got Howlett running. He's got a runner inside. The loose handball. He's going to give it back to Howlett, is he? He does. He's got a yard or two. Can he get his kick away? He does. He beats the creasy chase. Out wide.
Well,
good kick. That's a great kick to, I think it's young Gerard again.
Gee, that
on
was
that
classy.
far side. He wheels and goes now as they got to move the ball. Deering comes up at the footy. He's locked up. He's a good mark there from the Bunbury player in Renton. He just stood his ground.
He's been putting his hand up for the best defender too.
He had to mark that and he did. Now Perks. He comes out wide. They got the loose here in Jamin King. Is it Denham King? He marks in front of Bolton. What's he going to do?
Away for the
Chips
Dons.
Over the top towards Parson. He's going to be met by Coates. Takes a good mark in front of us on this wing. Bunbury just holding their nerve here. He chips inside towards Creasy. Again, slips over the back. Giblet's going to go through. He goes straight through. Get out of me way, he says. He chips out wide to Benny Howlett. He can do what he wants here. He's got a couple of yards. He's got a player in young Brown it is, in the middle of the ground. It's Ben Fraser. Got a tongue twisted there. He should have just kept going. He just pokes that in towards, well done.
That's going to put him under pressure.
Young Gerard. Unfortunately, the ball dropped short. Now it's an up and under. Bunbury have the advantage here. Durnham, out comes Giblet. Good effort there from young Giblet. But Durnham keeps his head over the footy. He slipped. Berraclough's there to help. He's got a yard on Giblet. Giblet wraps him up. He handballs back towards Durnham. No one really wants to own this footy at the moment. Howlett does well. He comes in from behind. Play on's the call. Walker goes in. He gets down low and picks up the footy. Squeezes the kick in towards McKenna Taylor. He's dealt with, and the umpire calls play on. Well done there by Bolton it is. Drives that ball on that far wing. Fraser's pushed in the back. The umpire calls no. He's allowed the mark.
Creasy has the ball.
Yep. That was a clear one hand in the back.
Looking for a best on ground thanks to WA Carpet Supermarket.
Comes in towards Perks on that wing. He's just outside the tram lines of the centre square. He looks to play on. He goes quickly to centre forward. A one-on-one contest. Dale gets the fist in. Over the back was Heisman. He throws out wide towards Bilsich. The ball bounced one way. Everyone's overrun it. In goes Dale. He's got time. He's got space now. Chips inside towards Hare. He goes towards Bolton. They need a long kick inside 50 here. Young Gerard's held without the footy. Play on's number player slid in there. He's come off second best. Perks drives it in, but Archer Coates drops what he should have taken. Now they've got the numbers here. Dale picks it up, just slaps it on the boot. Standing under the footy. Well done there by Kai Lucy there. He was in a nest of Bunbury players. He just chips that to them.
He kicks it straight to a nest of Bunbury players.
He does, but Hall has dropped it. It was Creasy, and the umpire's paid the mark. Well, play on's a call now. They got loose out.
He got blindsided, the umpire then.
He certainly did. Durnham's taking a mark on the point of the square on that far side of Payne Park. He chips down the line towards young Parsons. He's still 55-60 from his home goal, but he says, slow it down, boys. So we've got about 4 minutes to go.
Time is in the Bulldogs' favour, so he's done this pretty well.
I think they've realised that. Yep. He just chips in low. He's missed McKenna Taylor. Out the back there is it Coates. He's just a pick. It's Bolton. Handballs into Hare. He can't take the footy. He's still fighting his way through there. Brown goes into assist. Now it's a loose ball. Adow picks it up. He gives it to Hare. He just throws over the top. Picked up by Oliver. Whacks it on the boot. Giblet's going to win the race to the footy, but they need to move the ball quick. They can't afford to go back. They're going to throw caution in the wind, play on at all costs, and hit every target they can possibly see. Well done by Bolton. Now he's got a loose. He runs through. Keep running, son. He's got Persic outside. Draws a handball over the top. Bad handball. He has to go back to get the footy. Now he's good enough to get up off the haunches and win the football back. Squeeze that kick into the middle of the ground and finds Hare. He takes the mark just on the edge of the centre square. He handballs to Persic. They know they got to keep the ball moving. He has a bounce. He goes long inside 50, but the ball's going to drop short. Well done by Potter. The Bunbury player in Bellini's missed the footy. He's on his left boot. Deering's in the box seat out the back. He's going to win the race to the footy. Can King shut him down? He uses his strength. Great tackle there from Deering, and he's going to be rewarded. And the umpire was right there.
It's been a good battle, that one, all day.
I think that was Kerwin, actually, that he wrapped up. It was a good tackle. He plays on very quickly. He's check sides, and he's gone short. Probably a bit unlucky there, because I reckon if he had waited, the Bunbury player could have almost been drawn into a 50-metre penalty.
I think time is going to be Donnybrook's worst enemy here. Be a couple of minutes left, thanks to Lindmark Bearing Equipment.
71 plays 60 on the Southwest Isuzu scoreboard. We're ticking inside 4 minutes to play.
And Geograph Industrial Supplies.
So Kerwin, he goes long and high out that far side. Horrible looking kick. Who's in front? Durnham pushes the good spoil from behind from Gregory, and we'll have a boundary throw in about 70 metres from the Donnybrook goal.
What a game of footy this has turned out.
They come to life. As I said, Donnybrook will be kicking themselves for the third quarter. And
well, on the positive side for Donnybrook, they could have just wilted away.
Yeah.
But they have fought their way back into this game.
And a couple of their guys have got a bit of good touch in the last 20 minutes, so going forward, that's a good positive. So they win the ball out in the far side. Creasy's taken high out there, and he's rewarded at half-back.
A few players just a bit worse for wear out there. It's been a pretty solid afternoon for the players.
So 55 metres from his defensive goal, he just chips that down the line towards Heisman. So they're just going to try and play a bit of keepy off here and run the clock down. As we said, 11-point ball game on the Southwest Isuzu scoreboard. Heisman going long down that far wing.
1.5 minutes to go, but the timekeeper just lets us know.
So Giblet picks up a loose ball. He just whacks that back where it come from, but it's going to go out of bounds on the full this time. And Heisman's out there waiting for it, so he'll be bringing the ball back into play. What's he going to do? So fair to say 11 points in a minute and a half when you haven't got the footies stretched too far.
It's a little bit difficult.
Good mark down there by Gregory. He handballs the ball towards Hare. He's moved, trying to get something going. Through the middle of the ground, he comes to centre forward. Who's underneath it? Deering's there. He's got back on and tapped the ball wide to his teammate. Who is it? Bunbury take the footy and go backwards towards Kerwin. He's got Perks wide if he needs him. He elects just to go back long down that far wing. Number of players underneath it. Almost a good mark out there. It was Falco. Play on's a call. Oh, the sun's reflecting off that sign out there. I can't see anything over there.
It's a bit bright, isn't it?
I looked up and I thought I was looking into a solar eclipse. Anyway, out there, I say 11 points, about a minute to go, and Bunbury would say have done enough.
Yeah, which sets up a good little game for Donnybrook v Kerry Park next week.
Yep. Although the percentage will be too big of a bridge for Kerry Park to overcome unless they can keep Donnybrook scoreless and kick about 20 goals himself. So Falco on that far wing, he chips the ball back inside to Hare. He's got the ball. He's got a runner inside in Hamish Hutton. He elects not to use him. And as we hear the siren sound, she's all over. Bunbury 10-11-71. Defeat Donnybrook 8-12-60 on the Southwest Isuzu scoreboard. So they march on to another victory as their season almost... they push on to play Margaret River next week down there, and Donnybrook face Kerry Park, I think, at Boyna, and that'll wrap up the qualifying season.
So it's all over here at the Payne Park. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back to wrap it all up shortly.